Good morning, beloved brothers and sisters in Christ. Today, as the sun rises on another precious gift of life, we gather not by chance but by divine appointment. This is not just another morning, it is a holy moment, a sacred opportunity for transformation, protection, and peace. And the key that unlocks the heavens today is prayer, not just casual words whispered into the wind, but fervent, faith-filled, unshakable prayer that reaches the throne room of God and sets miracles into motion. Let me remind you, prayer is power. Prayer is the invisible force that turns the impossible into reality. It is the cry of the heart that moves the hand of God. All throughout history, and even in our own modern times, believers have witnessed undeniable, supernatural interventions, testimonies that prove God still protects, God still delivers, and God still shields His people from danger. There was the mother in a car accident that should have ended in tragedy. Yet she and her children walked away without a single scratch because she had covered her family in daily prayer. There was the man diagnosed with a terminal illness who gathered his friends and family in persistent intercession, and the doctors later called his recovery a medical mystery. But we know it was a divine miracle. And there was the woman whose home was spared during a violent storm after she had anointed every corner and prayed Psalm 91 over her dwelling. Her testimony now ignites faith across nations. These are not fairy tales, friends. These are the results of a living, breathing faith in a God who never slumbers nor sleeps, a God who promises in His word, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper," and He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. So today, we stand not in fear but in holy confidence, knowing that the same God who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, parted the sea for Moses, and calmed the storm for the disciples, is the very same God who watches over us, our families, and our friends. If your heart is burdened today by worry, if you are crying out for protection over your children, your spouse, your loved one, you are in the right place, at the right time, for a divine breakthrough. Let your spirit rise in expectation, because as we press in together in prayer, something is going to shift. Heaven is going to respond. God is going to move. So open your heart. Let go of yesterday's doubts. Lift your faith higher than your fear. The presence of God is here, and He is ready to surround you with His mighty shield of safety. Get ready for a spiritual encounter. Get ready to be renewed in faith. Get ready to declare with boldness that no harm shall come near your dwelling, because the Lord your God is your refuge, your fortress, your deliverer. Let us now step into that sacred place of communion with our Creator, believing, expecting, and receiving. Amen. Dear Heavenly Father, right now, I come before you, not with small talk, but with a cry from the depths of my soul for protection, for covering, for your divine shield to surround me, my family, and every friend you have placed in my life. Lord, the dangers of this world are many, and I do not pretend to be unaware. There are accidents waiting to happen, harm that lurks in unexpected corners, and forces seen and unseen that seek to steal, kill, and destroy. But today, I raise a standard in the Spirit. I lift up a prayer with authority, with trust, and with unwavering faith, because I know you are our refuge, you are our fortress, and you are our ever-present help in trouble. Father, I do not come timidly, come boldly to your throne of grace, for you have given me access through the blood of Jesus. I declare in the name of Jesus that no weapon formed against me or my loved ones shall prosper. I plead the precious blood of Jesus over every highway we drive on, every path we walk, every building we enter, every plan we make, every night we sleep, and every moment we draw breath. Surround us, O God, with walls of fire. Place your angels on every side, and let their swords be drawn to stand guard against every trap. Every accident, every demonic scheme that seeks to bring harm. I believe in the power of prayer. Lord, not as a last resort, but as my first line of defense, as my strongest weapon, as the very air I breathe when danger draws near. You have shown me, time and time again, that prayer shifts things. Prayer opens heavens. Prayer breaks chains and builds hedges that no evil can penetrate. So I stand on your promises today. I hold fast to Psalm 91, where you said, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." Let that shadow fall on me. Let it stretch across my household. Let it cover my children, my spouse, my friends, my co-workers, my community. I call down divine safety, divine guidance, divine alertness, and divine peace. Even when the world is chaotic, you are constant. Even when the news brings fear, your word speaks courage. Even when threats rise, your spirit raises a standard against them. Father, I ask that you seal every entrance the enemy may try to use closed doors to destruction, detour us from disaster, and disrupt every setup the enemy has devised against our health, our well-being, our wholeness. Send forth angels with flaming swords to stand on every corner of our lives. Let every car ride become a sanctuary. Let every workplace be drenched in your presence. Let every home be a fortress of peace and protection, where the enemy cannot cross the threshold. I speak life over every person I love. I speak strength over their bodies, soundness over their minds, and discernment over their decisions. Guard our coming and our going, Lord. Guard our mornings and our nights. Keep us away from reckless drivers, from careless accidents, from hidden dangers, from faulty structures, from violence in the streets, from sickness in the air, from every sudden tragedy that could befall us. Be our shield, our warning system, our whisper of caution when something is not right. Holy Spirit, rise up within me. Whisper to my spirit when I need to slow down, when I need to pause, when I need to change direction. Speak loud and clear when danger is near and I need to reroute. Let not one single trap the enemy lays for me or my family be successful. Let every plan of darkness be exposed and demolished in Jesus' name. Let confusion fall into the camp of the enemy. Let every snare be broken before it can ever tighten. I declare, by faith, that we shall live and not die. We shall move forward and not fall back. We shall rise above and not be taken down by harm. I claim safety not only in body but in spirit, in mind, in soul, and in every detail of our lives. Let there be peace in our streets. Let there be safety in our homes. Let there be joy unshaken by fear. I decree divine order, divine direction, divine covering. Not a hair on our heads shall be touched unless you allow it and use it for your glory. Let your word go ahead of us like a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. Guide us into places of safety. Lead us away from every wrong turn. Give us wisdom to avoid danger and the courage to speak protection over others. Teach us to pray with power, not passivity. Teach us to war in the spirit for our families, not with worry but with your word. Teach us to lay hands on our children and declare they are covered. They are guarded. They are marked by the blood of the Lamb. You, O God, are our defender. You are the one who stood with Daniel in the lion's den, the one who shut the flames for the 3 Hebrew boys, the one who parted the Red Sea and made a way of escape. Do it again in our lives. Part every sea of danger. Shut every mouth of disaster. Walk with us through every fire. And let us come out not even smelling like smoke. Let not our lives be governed by fear, but by faith in your faithfulness. I pray today not just for physical safety, but for emotional safety, that no trauma, no sudden loss, no tragedy shall shatter our peace. I speak protection over our hearts, our stability, our joy. Let no weapon of grief or heartbreak steal the joy that you have promised us. Surround us with your song of deliverance. Let our homes be places where angels linger, where your spirit abides, where heaven touches earth. This morning, I activate every promise of your word as a shield around us. I hold on to every declaration of protection and safety you have spoken. I do not just read it, claim it. I speak it. I believe it. I step into today knowing you have gone before me and stand behind me. I am not walking into danger. I am walking into victory. I am not stepping into fear. I am stepping under the shadow of the Almighty. My family is not exposed to chance. We are covered by the will of God, the blood of Jesus, and the power of the Holy Spirit. Every road we take today is already under your surveillance. Every decision we make is already guided by your wisdom. Every room we enter has already been filled with your presence. We are not alone. We are never unguarded. Heaven is watching. Angels are moving. And you, our Father, are still on the throne. Let that truth fill every anxious heart. Let it silence every lying voice of fear. Let it calm every storm. Let it strengthen every weak place. Let it fill every room with peace that surpasses all understanding. Let the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be aligned with your promises, and let our lives testify to the miracle working, danger canceling, soul securing power of our God. And so, Father, As I continue to pour out my heart before you, I ask that you would stretch forth your mighty hand once more over every soul connected to mine, over every child whose name I call in prayer, over every friend I have walked alongside, over every generation rising in my family line. I stand in the gap for those who cannot yet see the danger, for those too wary to pray, for those who do not even know how much they need your protection. Let this prayer reach into their lives, surrounding them with divine interception, divine insulation, divine immunity from the forces that seek to destroy. Father, I believe there are moments when you block what we never see. There are days when you cancel accidents we never knew were waiting for us. There are nights when angels stand between us and sudden death, and we sleep in peace, never realizing the war that was waged on our behalf in the Spirit. For that unseen mercy, I thank you. For every time you rerouted a plan, delayed a journey, stirred our spirits to pause, thank you for divine disruptions that saved our lives. I call on you now, Jehovah Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts. Dispatch your warring angels to the homes of my loved ones. Let them patrol the gates and the doors. Let every spirit of chaos, calamity, and confusion be stopped cold at the threshold. I pray for supernatural alarms to go off in the Spirit before danger draws near. Let there be dreams, visions, prophetic nudges, divine encounters that make us aware and keep us alert. Train our spirits to discern trouble before it strikes. Let there be no surprises that catch us off guard, 'cause you, O God, do not sleep and you do not slumber. I ask that you protect not just the physical, but the emotional and mental well-being of my family. So many people walk around safe in body but tormented in mind, crippled by fear, paralyzed by anxiety over what might happen. I come against every spirit of dread, every recurring nightmare, every lingering trauma caused by past accidents or sudden loss. Father, heal the hidden wounds that make us afraid to live. Release peace into the places where panic once ruled. Rewire our thoughts so that we do not anticipate harm, but expect your goodness. Let our faith become the atmosphere we breathe. And Lord, protect the vulnerable children too, young to understand danger, the elderly whose steps may be uncertain, the sick whose bodies are fragile. Let your mercy surround those who walk slower, see less clearly, or are often alone. Send neighbors with watchful eyes, friends with caring hearts, strangers who become angels in disguise. Let the community rise up with divine instinct to look after one another. Inspire us to pray not just for ourselves, but for the crossing guard, the bus driver, the construction worker, the night shift nurse, the emergency responders. Let no one walk uncovered. Father, I pray also for protection from spiritual harm. Shield us from toxic influences, deceitful voices, harmful relationships disguised as harmless. Break every soul tie that links us to destruction. Tear down every invisible thread that pulls us toward compromise. Let our spirits be anchored in you so deeply that when deception comes, we recognize its voice immediately. Keep our children from the paths of those who mean them no good. Redirect them when temptation looks attractive. Hide them from predators and manipulators. Hide them in your presence. O Lord, I pray against generational patterns of tragedy. I break cycles of accidents that seem to repeat. I declare the blood of Jesus is the final word over my bloodline. What hurt my grandparents will not hurt my children. What crippled my parents will not cripple my friends. What visited one generation will not revisit another not. While this prayer stands as a barrier, I decree safety across time, across lineage, across future days we have not even seen yet. I speak blessings into unborn generations. They too will walk in divine safety, guided and guarded by the God of covenant. Let this prayer echo louder than the lies of fear. Let it silence every internal voice that says, "What if something goes wrong?" Replace that inner dialogue with promises like, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul." Let your word take root so deeply that no terror of night or arrow by day can shake our foundation. Write it on the doorposts of our hearts. Seal it into our morning routines. Let every sunrise remind us, we are protected, we are loved, we are never alone. May even our vehicles become sanctuaries of safety. I anoint the tires that carry us, the steering wheels we touch, the brakes that must respond. I anoint the sidewalks we cross, the elevators we ride, the planes we board, the buses we enter. May there be no malfunction, no misstep, no misjudgment that leads to harm. And if anything begins to drift toward danger, may heaven intervene before it completes its course. Let there be divine alignment with every gear, every motion, every rote. Let even the air we breathe today be saturated with your presence. Lord, let every breath our loved ones take be a breath that is covered, cleansed, and protected by your Spirit. I pray that wherever we go, your presence goes before us like a banner, declaring to every force of darkness, "You may not pass here. These are my children. These are under my protection." Let your glory form a perimeter around us so strong, so impenetrable, that no evil can breach it, not by day, not by night, not in public, not in private. Father, I lift up those moments we cannot control, those split seconds when lives change, those intersections where danger may intersect with destiny. And I ask you, sovereign and merciful King, to stand in those very moments. Be present in every unexpected turn, every missed phone call, every delayed step. Let what seems like a minor inconvenience be seen for what it really is, a divine redirection from something harmful. Let flat tires be turned into testimonies. Let missed buses become moments of grace. Let you be found even in our interruptions. Lord, ask you to guard the hearts of the parents who send their children to school each morning, wondering if they will return safely. Wrap their children in your presence like armor. Go with them into every classroom, every hallway, every cafeteria. Cover them from violence, from bullying, from manipulation, from confusion, from mental torment. Let there be angels in the seats beside them, walking through the corridors, stationed at every door. Let peace reign where fear once had dominion. I call upon you, El Roy, the God who sees. See what we cannot see. See the hidden agendas of people who smile with false intent. See the cracks in our plans that we are blind to. Reveal and uproot anything in our lives that could grow into harm. And when we resist your prompting out of routine or comfort, be louder than our complacency. Speak so clearly, so unmistakably, that we obey even when it does not make sense. Keep us sensitive to the direction of your Spirit, tuned into heaven's frequency. Lord, let there be no delay in your deliverance. Where there is danger lurking in delay, quicken our feet. Where there is threat hiding in hurry, slow us down. Time us according to heaven's rhythm. Align our schedules with divine intersections. Not accidents. Let our yes and no be Spirit-led responses, not rushed decisions. Build in us an instinct of discernment, a reflex of prayer before every movement. I cover those who work in risky, professions first responders, construction, workers, soldiers, travelers, caregivers, delivery drivers. Let not one shift begin without your angels on assignment. Let no dangerous situation develop without divine intervention. Be the hand that steadies their footing. Be the voice that whispers wisdom. Be the light that reveals danger before it fully forms. And when others fall, may your grace carry them through. May your strength raise them up, and may they walk away in awe of your goodness. Father, I intercede right now for those who have experienced harm in the past, those who survived accidents but carry invisible scars. Heal the places where their confidence has been shattered. Restore their sense of safety. Remove the triggers that bring them back to moments of panic. Let every memory be filtered through the lens of your mercy. Let them see how you kept them alive, not to live in fear, but to live with purpose. Protected for a reason. Redeem their pain and show them how that storm was proof that you were present, even in the fire. I cry out on behalf of cities plagued by violence, communities marked by instability. I pray for divine transformation. Let homes become sanctuaries. Let neighborhoods be redeemed. Let law enforcement be guided by justice and compassion, not pride or fear. Let youth programs rise up in strength, giving hope to those at risk. Let churches be more than buildings. Let them be spiritual safe zones, outreach centers for the wounded, beacons of truth in dark streets. Let your Spirit sweep across cities like a mighty wind, disrupting cycles of violence and establishing havens of peace. Lord, as we go about this day, may every act be covered in your sovereignty. Whether we walk, ride, fly, or stay at home, let our environment be ruled by your peace. I declare, in faith, that our phones will not ring with bad news today, that no emergency rooms will need to know our names, that no news anchors will speak of our families, that no sirens will be connected to our loved ones. I believe that we will rest tonight with the same number of loved ones we began this day with. I believe in the hedge of protection around us, not as a wish, but as a promise from the one who never fails. And God, even when the world tries to convince us otherwise, when fear is broadcast like a weapon, when anxiety creeps through headlines and updates, let our response not be panic but prayer. Let our hearts not be troubled, for we believe in you. Let our spirits rise with boldness, knowing that the Creator of the heavens and the earth is our personal defender. Let faith rise like a flood within us and overflow into every conversation, every decision, every declaration. And when the enemy whispers lies into our ears, when he tries to convince us that harm is inevitable, that safety is uncertain, that tragedy is only a moment away, let your truth rise louder. Let the sound of your word drown out the noise of fear. Let the promises you have spoken echo in our spirits like thunder, shaking the foundations of doubt. Remind us again that you have given us not a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That we are not vulnerable, not forsaken, not exposed, but hidden in Christ, anchored in the arms of an unshakable God. Father, I lift up those who wake each day with the heaviness of worry, those whose first thoughts in the morning are consumed with what could go wrong. Breathe over them now. Holy Spirit, let peace rush in like a river and wash over the anxious thoughts. Let the weight of what is be replaced with the certainty of He is able. Let the tension in their hearts meld under the power of your nearness. I speak peace over every mind that replays fears like a broken record. I speak stillness over every soul that dreads the unknown. Teach us to walk in safety, not just by your power, but through divine wisdom. Make us attentive drivers, watchful pedestrians, discerning planners, patient listeners, and faithful followers of your lead. Let our actions agree with our prayers. May we not only ask for protection, but live in alignment with the steps that produce it. When we feel the nudge not to go, give us the courage to stay. When you say turn here, let us not resist. When you urge us to wait 5 more minutes, help us see that those minutes might be divine margins of mercy. And God, I ask that you would do something even deeper, transform our definition of safety. Let it not only be about the absence of danger, but the presence of your peace. Even in the midst of storms, let safety be more than survival. Make it about security in you. Let us understand that true protection is not always seen in what did not happen, but in how you carried us through what did. Teach us to celebrate the invisible shield, the near misses, the prayers we did not even know we needed to pray, but you heard anyway. Let our testimonies become anchors for others. Let our lives bear witness to a God who protects not just bodies, but futures, not just health, but purpose. Use our stories, our close calls, our but God moments, to stir up faith in someone else who is afraid to leave the house, afraid to take the next step, afraid to trust again. Let our survival be seed for someone else's breakthrough. Let our deliverance declare loudly, our God watches, our God moves, our God shields. I cry out for those in dangerous environments, those living in war zones, those in abusive homes, those surrounded by addiction, poverty, instability. Be their covering. Lord, raise up safe spaces. Place people of peace in their path. Intervene with supernatural speed. Send your Spirit to do what human efforts cannot. Break into their lives with rescuing power. Let them know that even there in the valley of the shadow of death you are with them, your rod and your staff. They comfort. You prepare a table even in the presence of their enemies. You anoint their heads with oil, and their cup overflows. Let there be a holy boldness that rises within us, not a reckless courage, but a spirit-led, wisdom-grounded confidence that we walk protected, that we are shielded not just by fences and walls, but by your word, your will, and your watchful eye, that you are a fortress not made by human hands, but eternal, unshakable, undefeated, that we do not need to live in paranoia, for we dwell under the shadow of the Almighty, and nothing can separate us from your care. God, I know there are moments when things still happen, when pain touches our lives, even in the midst of prayer. And in those moments, I ask not just for protection, but for perspective. Help us see that even when harm comes, it cannot touch what matters most, our souls, our destiny, our eternal security. Let us rise from the ashes of every setback with a fire that burns brighter. Let what the enemy intended for evil be turned for good. Let every scar become a symbol of survival, every wound a well of wisdom, every tear a testimony. Your name, O Lord, is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. Let that tower rise above every threat in our lives. Let it be the first place we go when the winds howl and the ground shakes. Let it be our hiding place when the world spins into chaos. And from that tower, let us declare over our families, our friends, our communities, we are safe, we are held, we are seen. And so, as this day unfolds, as time moves forward, I ask you to walk every second with us. Be in our casual conversations, in our grocery store errands, in our commutes and coffee breaks, in our parenting moments and our professional tasks. Be in the big decisions and the routine steps. Be in the laughter, the silence, the tears, and the triumphs. Surround us in layers of protection that are too thick for harm to pierce, too high for fear to climb, too deep for anxiety to drown. Let this very atmosphere we occupy become so saturated with your Spirit, Lord, that evil simply cannot coexist in our presence. Let the environment around our homes, schools, places of work, and even the roads we travel be so thick with your presence that the forces of darkness retreat before we even arrive. Let your angels go ahead of us and surround every place where our feet are about to tread, building invisible barricades against every threatable or invisible, planned or accidental, human or spiritual. Let your name, Jesus, become a wall of fire that surrounds our lives day and night. Lord, we know that the world is unpredictable, full of sudden turns and unanticipated moments. But you, God, are not reactive, you are proactive. You are never surprised, never outpaced, never unprepared. You see the end from the beginning, and you chart our paths with wisdom that transcends human understanding. So I lean not on my own knowledge, not on my own instinct, but on the divine instruction of your word and the gentle guidance of your spirit. When I do not know what lies ahead, I trust that you do. And that is more than enough. I pray now for the highways of this world, the busy intersections, the winding mountain roads, the narrow alleys, and the fast-moving freeways. May there be divine traffic control, not by lights and signs alone, but by the movement of angels. Guide the hands of every driver, calm the minds of those operating vehicles, prevent every moment of distraction, delay every impulse of recklessness. Let there be divine timing in our travels, so that every potential collision becomes a near miss and every journey ends in safe arrival. Lord, I lift up the places we feel most confident, even there where we sometimes let down our garb, our protection still. For sometimes, it is in familiarity that we become complacent, in routine that we stop watching, in comfort that we stop praying. Let us never outgrow our dependence on you. Let us never believe for a moment that we are safe because of anything other than your mercy. Whether we are in our homes or out among strangers, may we remember that our true safety comes from you alone. I pray now for the elderly who walk slowly, who live alone, who feel forgotten by the world. Wrap them in your divine embrace. Be their strength when they are weak, their balance when they stumble, their company when they feel lonely. Let them not slip, not fall, not be abandoned. May neighbors, family, caregivers, and even strangers be stirred with compassion to look out for them. May the frailty of their age be met with the fullness of your care. For children, Lord, cover them in a way only you can. Innocent, curious, and so full of life they need you every moment. From the moment they step out the door to the moment they lay their heads on the pillow, guard their eyes, ears, minds, and hearts. Let no predator come near, no corrupt influence slip past undetected. Surround them with teachers who see and protect, with friends who uplift and not mislead. Let childhood be a place of joy and growth, not trauma and fear. Father, for those who serve police officers, firefighters, paramedics, doctors, nurses, pilots, military personnel, those who place themselves daily in situations where safety is uncertain, cover them now. Guide every decision, steady every hand, strengthen every heartbeat. Be their protection not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually, so that they do not carry the weight of every trauma home with them. Let them feel the strength of your support in every crisis they face. I pray for safety from emotional harm. Lord, protect our minds from lies, from toxic words, from emotional manipulation. Keep us guarded from the wounds that do not bleed, but bruise deep. Break every word curse ever spoken over our lives. Tear down every label the enemy has tried to tattoo on our identity. Remind us that we are loved, we are seen, we are chosen, and no force on earth or in hell can alter the truth of who we are in you. Let our homes be places of peace. Let no argument turn into violence, no disagreement give way to division. Breathe through our rooms. Let the atmosphere be soaked in grace and understanding. Let laughter be louder than criticism, forgiveness quicker than offense. Let husbands protect wives not only with hands, but with words. Let wives honor their husbands in both love and speech. Let children rise up with honor and be nurtured with tenderness. Build homes that the devil cannot enter because you are enthroned within them. Lord, protect us from cyber harm, from online predators, from misinformation, from images and words that can damage our souls. Keep our minds pure in the digital age. Guard our phones, our computers, our social feeds. Let us not wander into places that threaten our spiritual safety. May we resist every temptation masked in entertainment, every compromise hidden behind a click. Let us use technology with intention, not addiction, with discernment, not distraction. And Father, protect us from ourselves or impulses, our recklessness, our temptations, our impatience. Sometimes the greatest danger comes not from without, but from within. Heal our need to rush, to prove, to compete, to control. Teach us to pause before we react, to listen before we speak, to ask you before we move. Be the still, small voice that steadies us in chaos. Be the holy restraint that redirects us when we are about to walk into what we think is harmless, but is destruction. Let this life we live be held in your hands, not with anxiety, but with assurance. Let our every breath be an offering, our every day a display of trust. When we step out of bed in the morning, may we do so not with dread, but with boldness, clothed in faith and armed with prayer. And when we lay our heads down at night, may it be with peace, knowing we were guarded by the God who neither sleeps nor slumbers. And even in our dreams, Lord, let your protection remain steadfast. Guard our subconscious minds from attacks in the night, from dreams laced with fear, from visions that do not come from you. Let every moment of rest be truly restorative, free from torment, free from dread, free from confusion. Station angels at the corners of our beds and at the edges of our homes. May every room in which we sleep be filled with the peace that surpasses all understanding. Let us rise not groggy from nightmares, but refreshed in spirit, because we have dwelled in the presence of the Almighty even as we slept. Father, I pray also for those battling sleeplessness and anxiety, those who lie awake at night imagining every possible danger, every worst-case scenario. Quiet their racing minds with the comfort of your truth. Let your word become the lullaby that soothes them into peace. Whisper reminders of your promises in the darkness. Remind them that you hold the night just as surely as you hold the day. Let their bedrooms become sanctuaries of stillness. Let fear dissolve in the light of your presence, even when no other light is on. And God, I lift up those who live in unsafe environments, where every knock on the door might bring danger, where every step outside might invite risk. Be their fortress, Lord. Be the barrier they cannot afford to build, the watchtower they cannot install, the defense system their city may not provide. Let divine encounters take place right on their porches, in their stairwells, in their alleyways. Let your protection appear in unexpected ways through strangers who intervene, neighbors who speak up, authorities who act justly, or miracles that confound all understanding. Lord, protect our identities or names, our reputations, our integrity. In a world so quick to label, so eager to accuse, let truth rise on our behalf. Let no false accusation gain traction. Let no character attack succeed. Let no scheme meant to destroy our influence bear fruit. Cover our reputations like a garment. Let humility be our shield, righteousness our defense. And when others try to harm what we have built, may they find themselves wrestling not with us, but with you, the righteous judge who sees and knows all things. Cover our finances as well. Father, protect us from theft, fraud, mismanagement, and deceitful deals. Grant us discernment in contracts, wisdom in budgeting, and clarity in decisions. Let every transaction be guided by honesty and covered by your provision. May we never be drawn into traps disguised as opportunities. Let no scheme drain what you have blessed. And when attacks on our resources come, let our trust remain fixed not in our accounts, but in our source. Protect our mental health, Lord. In the silent battles, the ones no one sees, but you, the comforter who never leaves. Be the counselor who always understands. When depression tries to sneak in unnoticed, when anxiety grips without cause, when hopelessness whispers that safety is an illusion, shine the light of truth into those dark places. Remind us that we are not broken beyond repair, not alone in our struggles, not helpless in our healing. Wrap your love around us like a weighted blanket, pressing down not with heaviness, but with the steady assurance of your nearness. Protect the plans you have planted within us. Let no sabotage come near our purpose. Let no distraction delay our destiny. Let the seeds of dreams and visions you have given us not be stolen in infancy by discouragement or criticism. Guard them fiercely, Lord. Shield them from the storms of doubt, the winds of comparison, and the draughts of delay. Let them grow in time, watered by faith and nurtured by obedience. God, let there be safety in our transitions. In every move to a new city, a new job, a new season, be the unchanging presence that holds us steady. Keep us from falling through the cracks. Let us not be exposed in unfamiliar places. Walk ahead of us into new territories. Make crooked paths straight. Guide us through airports, down foreign streets, into new relationships, and through unknown decisions. Let us feel secure even when we do not know what is next, because we trust the one who leads. And when we grieve, when loss does come, when harm touches those we love, because we live in a fallen worldlet, even that be held in your hands. Don't let grief drown us. Don't let sorrow lie to us. Be the lifter of our heads. Let our mourning be met with comfort, our pain met with presence, our questions met with the quiet assurance that you are still good, even when life is hard. Build a shelter for the brokenhearted, and let your love fill the cracks where safety once lived. Father, I ask for divine clarity in times of confusion. Let us not mistake peace for comfort, nor danger for challenge. Let our spiritual eyes be opened. If something looks good but leads to harm, shut the door before we step through it. If something seems uncertain but is your will, give us courage to walk forward anyway. Let no deception hide behind charm. Let no trap wear the disguise of opportunity. Speak louder than the noise around us, and tune our ears to your frequency. Raise up intercessors in our lives, people who will pray for our safety when we are too tired to pray for ourselves. Stir up a spirit of community, of unity, of shared burdens and shared victories. Let no one be uncovered because they walked alone. Teach us to lift up the names of our friends, our neighbors, our pastors, our leaders, our children's teachers, covering them with words of life and protection. Let our circles be tightly knit in love, in prayer, in divine accountability. And Lord, I ask that you awaken within us a greater reverence for the sacred power of prayer, not as a duty, but as a divine privilege. Let us not become numb to its authority, nor casual in our approach. Teach us to war in the Spirit with bold declarations, to build hedges of protection around our lives and the lives of those we love through words birthed in faith. Let us become people who do not just react to danger, but proactively declare protection, who plant prayer like seed before the storm, who establish a shield before the threat can even take form. Let prayer be our daily rhythm, not our last resort. Let it be the very breath of our mornings, the sound that fills our afternoons, the whisper we carry into our nights. Let the sound of intercession ring out from our homes like a song calling down heaven, repelling darkness, proclaiming, "Here, Lord, you are welcome, and here no evil may dwell." Let even our silence be full of your presence, because our lives have become temples of communion with you. And let our children grow up under the shelter of this spiritual covering. Let them know, even from their earliest memories, that their safety does not depend on the world, but on the one who holds the world. Let them hear our prayers so often that it becomes natural for them to pray. Let protection become the atmosphere they breathe, not the exception, but the expectation. May they never know a day without the knowledge that they are surrounded by divine mercy, that every step they take is watched by a God who neither blinks nor forgets. Father, we also ask that you protect the places where we gather, the churches, the schools, the markets, the parks. Let not one place of community become a place of catastrophe. Raise up unseen barriers around sanctuaries and public spaces. Cancel every plot of destruction. Let any person with evil intent be stopped before they can act. May their plans unravel before they begin. May confusion overtake their schemes. May conviction pierce their hearts before they bring harm. And where human eyes are limited, let your divine surveillance never miss a detail. I pray for protection in the digital world, the world of passwords, identity, privacy, and security. Guard our names from being misused, our accounts from being hacked, our images from being manipulated. Let no phishing scheme, no fraudulent activity, no digital weapon prosper against us. May your spirit be our firewall. May your wisdom guide our every click. May our digital footprint reflect a path of holiness and safety. And may our children be shielded from the hidden snares of the internet, those crafted with deception. masked in entertainment, designed to ensnare. Lord, let there be protection in the waiting. So often we find ourselves in seasons between answers, between miracles, between doors. Don T, let our vulnerability in waiting be used against us. Keep us safe from making choices rooted in impatience. Let our trust become a fortress. Teach us that delays do not equal danger when we are anchored in your timeline. Help us rest in the knowledge that your not yet is still full of safety, still covered in love, still governed by sovereign wisdom. I pray for those who walk through life with invisible targets on their backs, those hated without cause, those persecuted for their faith, those vulnerable because of their gender, their race, their status, their silence. Be their fierce protector. Be their defender in courtrooms, their voice in silence, their escape in unjust situations. Hide them in plain sight. Confuse their accusers. Strengthen their resolve. Surround them with unlikely allies, and let justice flow like a mighty river where injustice once stood. Let our health be preserved, Lord, not just in absence of illness, but in protection from the environments and habits that invite disease. Strengthen our immune systems, yes, but also awaken wisdom in how we care for our bodies. Let no food bring hidden harm. Let no substance find access. Let no decision sabotage the temple you gave us. And when illness does come, may it not be final. May healing follow swiftly. May pain be met with peace. May suffering never speak louder than your sovereignty. Lord, let there be protection from mental sabotage, the slow erosion of joy, the subtle lies that creep in through exhaustion, the silent comparisons that rob us of contentment. Raise up truth like a banner in our minds. Let every lie be shattered at the root. Let every false belief be torn down with the force of your word. Teach us to renew our minds daily, to take every thought captive, to cast down anything that would dare to exalt itself against the knowledge of you. Protect the unity of families. Father, guard marriages from the wedge of misunderstanding. Protect relationships from the poison of offense. Cover communication with grace. Don T, let minor things become major divides. Let forgiveness rise quicker than bitterness. Let love be louder than pride. Restore what has been fractured. Rebuild what has been eroded by time, by distance, by silence. Be the glue that holds what life tries to break. Let every family under this prayer be sealed in supernatural unity. Lord, I pray for travelers today, those on business trips, mission fields, vacations, and life transitions, whether by plane, train, bus, car, or on foot. May every mode of transportation be anointed. Let the hands of pilots, drivers, and crew be steady and alert. Let weather patterns submit to your peace. Let no mechanical failure bring threat. Let every journey be marked by the awareness of your present seat belts, strapped not just in safety, but in faith, knowing that you are the one who leads and returns. And for those who feel unsafe, even within themselves, those struggling with addiction, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, be their refuge. God, block every attempt of the enemy to steal their breath. to rob their hope, to end their story prematurely. Let divine interruptions stop what the enemy has planned. Let someone call. Let someone show up. Let a scripture leap to life. Let a moment of clarity break through the darkness. Surround them with a holy awareness that they are not alone, not forgotten, not hopeless. And so, Lord, as this prayer flows on like a river from the soul, I lift up those who walk through the shadows, who live each day wrapped in the cloak of fear, who check the locks multiple times, who jump at the sound of a sudden knock, who scan every street before stepping out. Let your perfect love cast out that fear. Let your truth come like light into every shadowy corner. Declaring boldly, you are safe here. You are not alone. You are under the watch of the Most High. Replace every haunting memory, every fearful imagination, every anxious expectation with the rock-solid assurance that you are not just near, but fully in control. Protect those in transition. Lord, the ones who are relocating to new cities, walking into new schools, entering new workplaces, stepping into new roles, or recovering from the grief of something they have just left behind. Let them not feel exposed in unfamiliar places. Let their feet not stumble on ground they have never walked before. Be the same steady hand that led them out and now leads them in. Let every door they open be covered in peace. Let every introduction be divinely aligned. Let every new beginning be filled not with fear, but with fresh favor. I pray also for those who minister to others, the pastors, the counselors, the intercessors, the frontline workers of faith. So often they pour out, they shield others. They stand in the gap while silently enduring battles of their own. Protect them from burnout. Protect their minds from fatigue, their families from attack, their hearts from discouragement. Let no assignment you have given them become the avenue by which the enemy tries to reach them. May every battle they fight be one you have already won, and let every word they speak be laced with power, every touch of comfort drenched in anointing. Let your protection reach even into the spiritual realm. Lord, into dreams, visions, thoughts, and unspoken fears. Cover us from the arrows of envy, from curses spoken behind our backs, from wordcraft and witchcraft, from bitterness disguised as concern, from false prophets and manipulative leaders. Guard us from spirits of division, spirits of control, spirits of confusion. Let no weapon formed in darkness succeed against the light within us. Fortify our discernment, sharpen our ears to hear truth, and give us the boldness to walk away from what looks right, but does not bear your voice. And Lord, extend this prayer over the forgotten places prisons, where men and women fear for their lives daily. Foster homes where children cry themselves to sleep. Refugee camps where basic safety is a distant dream. Let your spirit sweep through those places like a mighty wind. Let protection rise where despair has settled. Let hope be reborn in the darkest environments. Let even those who've never heard your name sense your nearness and begin to believe that a different life is possible. I call upon your holy name to protect not only the individual, but the systems and structures that impact our lives. Guard our schools, yes, but also the policies that shape them. Protect our communities, yes, but also the leaders who govern them. Intervene in legislation. Direct the pens of those who write the rules. Let no harmful law be passed without divine interruption. Place Daniels in our courts, Esthers in our governments, Nehemiahs in our cities. Raise up reformers whose hearts burn with both righteousness and wisdom. Lord, I cry out also for those who have become not because they are faithless, but because they are tired of praying for protection and watching pain still come, tired of believing for safety when danger seems relentless, tired of asking and not seeing. Breathe on them again, Lord. Revive the weary intercessor. Remind them that their prayers have not been in vain. Remind them that while they may not see the storm you stopped, the accident you canceled, the enemy you silenced, still you are moving, still you are shielding, still you are working all things together for their good. Let those who lost someone to tragedy not be consumed by bitterness. Let grief not morph into suspicion of your character. Instead, bring comfort deeper than understanding. Show them how you wept, too. How you grieved with them. How you now sit with them in their sorrow, not to explain, but to embrace. Let their healing come slowly, if it must, but let it come. Let their hearts beat again, without the constant ache of fear. Let safety not feel like a distant concept, but a daily grace. Lord, I intercede for the unseen laborers, the janitors who clean in silence, the factory workers who clock in before dawn, the street vendors exposed to all weather, the farmers who toil in fields far from the city's safety. Watch over them as diligently as you do those in boardrooms. Guard the roads they take, the hands they work with, the bodies they push beyond limits. Reward their labor. Let no injury, no exploitation, no fatigue befall them. Send provision where systems fail. Send strength where resources lack. Let your divine justice rise for those the world often overlooks. Protect the bond between friends, the sacred threads that hold our relationships together. Let no gossip sow seeds of mistrust. Let no miscommunication become a wedge. Let no offense fester into silence. Guard the moments of laughter and vulnerability. Let honesty flow like a river, and loyalty be the bridge that carries us through difficult seasons. Protect those friendships that reflect your love, those you have ordained as divine partnerships, soul connections for the journey. Father, may this prayer stretch into the generations. Let my words today plant seeds that bloom in the future of my children, my grandchildren, and all those who will come after me. Let every prayer of protection I pray now ripple through time, creating shields they will never see, but will always love under. Let curses be broken, strongholds demolished, diseases stopped at the threshold, generational accidents never repeated. Let the bloodline be covered by the blood of the Lamb, forever sealed in covenant safety. And now, Lord, as this sacred outpouring continues, I lift up those places in our hearts where fear still lingers silently, those deeply buried corners where trauma made its home, where experiences long past still whisper warnings, still echo moments of panic, still hold us hostage in hesitation. Shine your healing light into those hidden places. Illuminate what we have tried to forget. Disarm what we have learned to manage, but never truly surrendered. Let your love move through those internal landscapes like a flood, uprooting every weed of fear, washing away the residue of danger that no longer belongs to us. I ask for divine closure. Father, not just physical protection, but emotional release from the events that shaped our caution, from the voices that trained us to expect danger more than deliverance. Let us stop anticipating harm and start expecting goodness. Let us rewrite the stories in our minds, not as tales of survival only, but as testimonies of your faithfulness, of how you were there all along when we slipped, when we cried, when we screamed and no one heard but you. You were not absent. You were the unseen rescuer, the silent protector, the one who blocked what we never even knew was coming. And I pray over our future. Lord, over the days we have not lived yet, the journeys we have not begun, the challenges we have not faced. Go ahead of us, just as you did for the Israelites, when you led them through the wilderness with a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. Be our guide, our guardian, our grounding. Let tomorrow not be filled with dread, but with hope. Let us walk into new seasons with boldness, knowing that if you go with us, there is nothing to fear. Let no prophecy of danger, no prediction of chaos, no rumor of instability shake the foundation we have in you. Let your word continue to be our strongest armor, sharper than any lie, brighter than any darkness. Let Psalm 91 not be mere comfort, but our covenant. Let Isaiah 54:17 not be a recitation, but a declaration. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Let the promises that flow from your lips become shields that surround our bodies, our minds, our homes, our dreams. Let us recite them in the morning. Teach them to our children. Write them on the walls of our hearts. Lord, place divine surveillance around the elderly living alone, especially those with failing strength and fading memory. May they never be forgotten or left exposed. Let their homes become places of dignity and peace. Send trustworthy caretakers, loving neighbors, and alert friends to keep watch. And where human presence is absent, let divine presence overflow. May every hallway echo with the sounds of angels' feet. May every moment of confusion be replaced by clarity and calm that only you can provide. Protect our rest, Lord, not just our nighttime sleep, but our Sabbath, our stillness, our moments of pause. Let us not feel guilty for resting, for it is in stillness that we remember who is truly in control. Teach us to lay our worries at your feet, to surrender our need to always be vigilant, and to rest in the truth that you are the one who keeps watch. While we sleep, you stand guard. While we rest, you reign. While we pause, you protect. I pray over our communications, every phone call, text message, email, conversation. Let nothing we say open a door for harm. Let our words carry wisdom, not recklessness. Let our replies be thoughtful, not reactionary. Let no message be misunderstood to the point of broken trust. Let every digital and verbal interaction be touched by grace, guarded by discernment, and soaked in peace. Father, I ask for angelic activity to increase around us. Let there be angels assigned to every member of our family, standing at attention, ready to act. Let them form barriers against sudden danger. Let them whisper warnings when needed. Let them intervene in the seconds that matter most. Let them carry us through moments when our own strength fails. And let their presence remind us that heaven is not far, but always near, working, watching, warring on our behalf. And Lord, I pray for miraculous reversals, moments when something for harm is transformed midair into safety, when a car skids but stops in time, when a diagnosis reverses in the final hour, when a threat dissolves as quickly as it appeared. Let your supernatural power interrupt the natural order where needed. Defy statistics. Reverse odds. Rewrite endings. Make medical professionals scratch their heads. Make news reporters say, "It could have been worse," but somehow it was not. And let us boldly say, "It was God." Protect our spiritual authority as believers. Let us not become passive in our prayers, lazy in our declarations, or casual in our warfare. Remind us daily that we are not powerless. We are heirs, sons and daughters of the King. Let us speak with that weight, walk with that confidence, and intercede with that fervor. Let our prayers strike like arrows into the unseen. Breaking chains, binding danger, commanding peace, declaring victory. Guard our time, Lord. Keep us from being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Let divine delays save us from unseen threats. Let divine appointments guide us into moments of protection. Teach us to trust every red light, every canceled plan, every gut feeling that whispers wait. Let us see those moments not as frustrations, but as divine interventions, your hand. Carefully, silently, lovingly guiding us away from harm we will never have to know. And for those facing court battles, legal matters, custody fights, or injustice in any form, be their shield and their sword. Be their divine advocate. Let truth rise to the surface. Let lies fall to the floor. Let unjust systems bend to righteousness. Let peace surround them, even as they walk through legal warfare. May no false testimony prosper. May no corrupt scheme succeed. And may your justice roll down like waters. And even now, Lord, I lift up the ones whose very breath feels fragile, the sick, the hospitalized, those waiting on a diagnosis, and those whose bodies are aching under the weight of disease. I declare that no harm will come to their spirits, even as their bodies wage war. Wrap them in the assurance that though their outer self may be wasting away, their inner self is being renewed day by day. Protect their dignity as they walk through medical valleys. Surround them with caretakers full of compassion. Keep them safe from medical error, from negligence, from despair. Let rooms intended for suffering become places of healing, places where your presence dwells and peace ministers more deeply than any medicine. God. I speak safety into our dreams, the passions, the goals, the missions that you have placed deep within us. Let not one be aborted by fear. Let not one be killed by failure. Let not one be abandoned because danger whispered too loudly. Protect our calling from the voices that say, it is too risky, or it is too dangerous. Let faith be louder than fear. Let obedience override calculation. Keep us from playing it so safe that we never walk on water. If you have called us to it, then build the bridge or part the sea, but let us never trade safety for smallness when you are inviting us to greatness through trust. Father, I intercede for those in abusive environments, the wives living under intimidation, the children afraid to speak up, the men too ashamed to ask for help. Send rescue, God. Send deliverance. Send the right person at the right time to notice, to act, to protect. Let there be an end to secrecy, to shame, to silence. Let chains be broken in the name of Jesus. Let those who feel trapped find doors they never saw before, ways of escape fashioned by your own hand. And while they wait, Lord, let your presence shield them like armor. Let their spirits be guarded even when their bodies are vulnerable. And Lord, for the ones who are navigating grief after sudden loss, when safety seemed to fail, when tragedy came like a thief in the night, I ask that you protect them from bitterness, guard their hearts from isolation, shield their minds from the voice that says, if God really cared, this would not have happened. Wrap your arms around them with tenderness. Sit with them in the silence. Weep with them if they cannot yet pray. Be the God who does not rush them out of pain, but walks them through it, carrying the weight they can no longer hold. Let the words we speak carry the fragrance of protection. Let what we confess build a shelter, not a snare. Teach us to speak life, to declare peace, to affirm safety, to reject fear. Let no careless word become an open door. Let our homes resound with declarations of your promises. Let children grow up hearing their names called out in prayer, not just in correction, but in covering. Let them know they are not just disciplined in love, but defended in prayer. Lord, I ask that you shield our decisions, especially the ones that seem small. Let no compromised yes or pressured no open a door to harm. Be the God of our instincts. Give us spiritual reflexes. Let something rise in our gut when a direction is wrong. Let unease become the check that keeps us still, and give us the humility to heed it, even when we do not fully understand. Let no pride or urgency override the whisper of your Spirit saying, not now, or turn here, or wait just a little longer. Cover the roads with your grace today, Lord, not just for us, but for everyone driving near us. Let the reckless driver be calmed. Let the distracted driver be reawakened. Let the exhausted driver find rest before tragedy. Let no vehicle become an instrument of pain. Let no route become a detour into danger. Send angels to direct traffic if you must, to hold back accidents, to straighten curves and cushion collisions before they ever happen. Let the laws of physics submit to your divine will when needed. And Lord, cover us in places of worship. Let the church remain a sanctuary, not just in name, but in experience. Let no violent plan succeed, no targeted hatred find entrance, no evil touch what is holy. Let every pew, every altar, every gathering be surrounded by fire from heaven. Let the presence of God so saturate the space that evil cannot even approach. And let every heart that enters find more than community, they find divine safety. A haven where they are not only seen but shielded. I pray, too, for protection in the wilderness seasons, when we feel unseen, forgotten. In between, let no wandering lead us into danger. Let no thirst drive us into compromise. Let no desperation pull us toward counterfeits. Keep us safe from the lies that say, God has left you, or you are on your own now. Instead, let your provision surprise us manna in the desert, water from a rock, peace that makes no sense. Let your nearness be our hiding place when clarity is lacking and the way forward is not yet revealed. Father, for every person in this world facing war, displacement, or crisis, let supernatural protection fall like a shield over their heads. Let innocent lives be spared. Let children find shelter. Let families find each other. Let hope survive amidst rubble. Let angels walk through refugee camps. Let dreams rise even from the ruins. Be the defender of those who have no army, the voice of those who have no platform, the refuge of those who have no nation to call home. And lastly, Lord, protect the intimacy we have with you. Let no business, no heartbreak, no fear, no trauma pull us away from your presence. Let our trust in you remain unshaken even when the winds blow and the waters rise. Be the secret place we always return to. Let your nearness be our greatest defense, and your love be the banner we wear every single day. And as I continue to dwell in this sacred place of communion with you, Father, I bring before you even the words unspoken, the silent cries of those who do not know how to pray, who feel unworthy to ask, who've been silenced by shame, trauma, or years of feeling unheard. You know every language of the heart. You interpret every tear, every sigh, every racing heartbeat. Cover these ones with divine safety, even when they can't find the words to ask for it. Be the answer to the prayer they do not know how to pray. Be the shield they did not know they could claim. Let them feel, even now, that your protection is not earned, it is given because of who you are. And Lord, for the caregivers who daily pour themselves out for others, the parents of children with disabilities, the spouses of those suffering from chronic illness, the sons and daughters taking care of aging parents, wrap them in your safety. Guard their physical strength, their mental clarity, their emotional bandwidth. Let exhaustion not become the door through which harm or despair enters. Let their sleep be deeper, their moments of solitude more restorative, their burdens lifted even if just for a moment. Let them know that you see them, you carry them, and you are protecting them even while they protect others. I lift up those who carry the weight of responsibility, the heads of households, single parents, business leaders, pastors, and community organizers, often They must appear strong while feeling vulnerable. Often, they are the ones others depend on, yet they have no one to lean on. Be their invisible support, their supernatural safety net. Let no pressure crush them. Let no stress blind them to danger. Give them wisdom in every decision, foresight in every plan, and courage in every conversation. Let nothing formed against them succeed, not stress, not burnout, not betrayal, not isolation. I pray over places plagued by violence where shootings have become familiar, where danger feels routine. Let the atmosphere itself shift by the power of your spirit. Dismantle every territorial stronghold. Disarm every plan of the enemy. Let children walk to school without fear. Let store owners open their businesses without anxiety. Let families sit on porches without scanning for threat. Let entire neighborhoods feel the blanket of peace descend, not man-made peace, not temporary ceasefires, but peace that comes because your kingdom has come to that place. Lord, protect our pets, to those small companions you have given to bring comfort, joy, and healing. Shield them from accidents, from disease, from sudden loss. Let our homes be safe environments for all living things you have entrusted to us. And when we grieve their loss, remind us that you are present in every kind of sorrow, attentive to even what the world may call small. Let our hearts be comforted by knowing that you are the God of all creation, and your compassion extends to every living creature. I pray for those facing natural disaster storms, floods, fires, earthquakes. Be their shelter in the storm. Guide them to safety before the danger arrives. Let warnings come in time. Let evacuation routes remain open. Let communities rally to help. Let resources be multiplied. Let no person be left behind. And when the winds rage and the skies darken, let there be a supernatural calm inside their spirits that says, "My God is with me. I will not be shaken." And Lord, I pray over every relationship where harm once lived, but healing is still needed. Let reconciliation never come at the cost of safety. Let wisdom guide the rebuilding of trust. Let courage speak up where silence once ruled. And let your spirit be the great restorer, binding wounds that only you can see, healing timelines that feel out of order. Redeem the years the enemy tried to steal through betrayal, abuse, or abandonment. Replace fear with discernment, mistrust with insight, and trauma with truth. Cover the journey of parenthood. Father the sleepless nights, the daily worries, the choices that never seem small. Give parents divine instincts. Help them see beyond behavior into heart. Let no parent miss a warning sign. Let no accident slip past their notice. Anoint their discipline with love, their instruction with wisdom, their guidance with grace, and let every child grow not only in stature, but in security, knowing they are loved, protected, and covered by both earthly and heavenly care. Protect the seed of joy in us, Lord, in this world that tries to steal it daily through news reports, through unexpected crises, through small, relentless discouragements. Let our joy not be fragile. Let it be rooted in something deeper than circumstance. Guard it like treasure. Let laughter still echo in our homes. Even when we do not have all the answers, let music still rise from our hearts, even when things feel uncertain. Let joy be the proof that we believe in your protection, in your promises, in your presence that surrounds us. God, I ask that you protect our sense of direction literally and spiritually. Keep us from wandering into danger. Let every wrong turn be corrected. Let every lost path become a testimony. Let us not be so eager for the destination that we miss the detours of grace. And when we are confused, when we feel like we have lost the trail completely, remind us that you are not just the destination, you are the guide, and you never lose track of your own. And in moments when we feel we have strayed too far, when shame tries to convince us that we have forfeited your protection, remind us that your love does not withdraw, your mercy does not expire. Let your grace meet us on the road back home. Let safety be restored not only to our surroundings, but to our identity. Erase the fear that tells us we have gone too deep into danger to be rescued. Tear down the walls of guilt that make us hide from your presence. You are not only the God who warns us before we fall. You are the God who catches us when we don't, lifts us, restores us, covers us again. Lord, I lift up the ones who travel along with those navigating solo journeys in unfamiliar places, whether for work, healing, or new beginnings. Let your presence be their constant companion. Speak to them on quiet buses, in airport terminals, through hotel rooms that echo with loneliness. Be their travel guide, their security, their unseen escort. May every footstep they take be accompanied by the sound of angels marching beside them. Let no harm befall them in distant cities, on winding roads, or behind closed doors where no one else sees. Be both their map and their miracle. And Father, for those stepping into platforms of influence, artists, writers, speakers, politicians, teachers, those whose voices are reaching crowds they never imagined, I ask for divine protection. Guard their minds from pride and their hearts from compromise. Let no spiritual attack succeed against the ones you have raised to lead. Shield them from temptation that comes cloaked in opportunity. Let truth be their compass, and integrity their armor. And when criticism comes, when lies are spoken against them, be their defense, their restorer of reputation, their shield from the arrows of slander. Lord, let there be protection in the mundane, the ordinary hours, the dishes, the deadlines, the daily commute, those places where we do not expect miracles, but still desperately need mercy. Let no moment be too small for your attention. Let no part of our day be lived outside of your covering. Let our routines be infused with your presence, and in those quiet stretches where danger hides beneath the surface of normal, expose it, interrupt it, erase it before it unfolds. Let even boredom be holy because you are in it. I speak safety into emotional transitions to when relationships change, when friendships fade, when seasons shift. Let our vulnerability not become a doorway for the enemy. Protect us from bitterness, from jealousy, from insecurity that whispers lies when closeness becomes distance. Teach us to release without resentment, to bless those who leave, and to trust that new connections will come without risk to our hearts. Let us never confuse detachment with rejection or mistake your redirection for abandonment. Let the very atmosphere around us testify that we are protected. Let your Spirit so dwell within us that darkness flees before it even approaches. Let our homes, cars, workplaces, and gathering places be saturated with peace. Let no weapon of confusion, distraction, or manipulation find its way in. Set a divine perimeter and unseen boundary that evil cannot cross, that accidents cannot penetrate, that fear cannot scale. Let every plan of the enemy crumble at the gates, denied by the power of your name. Lord, I ask that you would protect the dreams you have planted in our hearts from being snuffed out by criticism or comparison. Guard us from the slow erosion of hope. When progress is delayed, let faith rise instead of frustration. When others seem to move faster, let us not be discouraged, but encouraged knowing you write different stories for each of us. Let safety look like contentment, and protection feel like patience. Let the inner fortress of your joy keep us anchored, even when the world tries to define success differently. Cover our boundaries, Lord. Help us say no when needed. Help us not to overextend, overgive, overpromise in ways that compromise our safety and peace. Teach us that being a light does not mean burning out, that helping others should not come at the cost of neglecting ourselves. Let wisdom guard our generosity. Let discernment protect our time. And when we are afraid to disappoint people, help us remember that obedience to you is our highest calling, and you, not man, are our protector and rewarder. And Father, for those who live far from their family, the ones who cannot check on their parents, their children, their siblings daily, be the gap filler, be the hands they wish they could send, be the eyes they long to place over their loved ones. Let their prayers become wings that stretch across distance. Guard their families in other states, other countries, other continents. Let time zones not matter to your angels. Be present in every place we cannot physically be. Let absence never mean exposure. Protect our laughter, Lord. Let us not lose our ability to rejoice, even in chaos, even in the thick of battle. Preserve the ability to smile, to celebrate small victories, to cherish sacred moments. Let joy become a weapon against despair, a shield against sorrow. Let our spirits remain buoyant, not because life is easy, but because you are good, even when life is not. Let joy remind us that we are still alive, still held, still carried by the one who promised to never leave or forsake. And God, for those who walk daily with mental illness, for those managing anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, guard their minds with supernatural stability. Let them not be defined by diagnosis. Let no breakdown become an entry point for deeper danger. Let no panic attack or spiral isolate them from support. Raise up community around them. Let the right counselors appear. Let medications work without adverse effects. Let hope be reignited again and again. Be their daily strength, their secret place, their unshakable covering when the world becomes too loud to bear. And Lord, in the midst of all the chaos that sometimes surrounds us, I ask you to build within us a peace that no news headline can shake. Let your peace guard our hearts like a fortress when uncertainty tries to breach the walls of our minds. When sirens echo through the night or breaking reports fill our screens, let us not be overwhelmed. Let us be rooted in something greater than the world's instability. Let our response not be panic but prayer, not fear but faith. Teach us that real safety is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of your unfailing hand in the middle of it. I pray now for the safety of those who are navigating new beginnings, starting over after divorce, stepping into recovery, healing from betrayal, or rebuilding after financial ruin. These moments are fragile. Let no predator sense of vulnerability. Let no manipulator find access. Let no hidden danger sneak in while their eyes are on restoration. Be their discernment, Lord. Be their wisdom. Be their shield. Surround them with trustworthy voices and remove every counterfeit connection. And when they are tempted to settle out of fear, remind them that you do not lead your children into traps, but into truth. Your covering be upon the conversations we enter into, casual or deep, new or familiar. May every word spoken over us that carries hidden agendas, manipulation, or subtle harm lose its power the moment it is uttered. Let slander not stick. Let lies fall flat. Let gossip dissolve in the air. And when words spoken in anger threaten to wound us, be the one who intercepts them with grace. Teach us how to speak words that build and heal and bless. May our mouths be a tool of protection for others, not a weapon of harm. I ask that you protect us from the emotional residue of witnessing harm, even if it does not touch us directly. When we hear of tragedy, when we witness injustice, when we read of sorrow, keep our hearts soft but not broken. Let us care without crumbling. Let us carry compassion without becoming overwhelmed. Let us be moved without being shaken. And when empathy becomes a heavy burden, let us bring it back to the foot of the cross where all weight is transformed by your mercy. Lord, protect the transitions in our lives that happen slowly, the ones we do not even notice at first, the small shifts that seem insignificant, until we wake up and realize we have drifted from who we were called to be. Guard our hearts against apathy. Guard our routines against gradual compromise. Guard our minds from slow erosion. Let our yes still mean yes. Let our no still be firm. Let us remain grounded in your truth, unwavering in our convictions, faithful in our obedience, even in the small and hidden things. Cover our finances. God, not just the numbers in our accounts, but the decisions we make with what we have been entrusted. Protect us from greed disguised as ambition. Shield us from poverty mindsets that keep us in fear. Keep us from overspending, from undergiving, from placing our security in possessions. Remind us daily that you are our provider, our source, our sustainer. Let every bill be paid on time. Let no unexpected debt destroy what you have built. Let no financial decision open a door to stress, division, or loss. And Father, for those whose job puts them in dangerous places, journalists in war zones, Aid workers in unstable regions. Missionaries in persecuted nations be their refuge. Go ahead of them, beside them, behind them. Let their presence bring not just light, but safety to those around them. Let their steps be ordered by heaven. Let every journey be anointed with divine timing. Let borders open by miracle. Let plans be protected by grace. And if they must walk through danger, let them come out unburned, like the Hebrew boys who walked through fire without the smell of smoke on them. Lord, I speak safety into our creativity. Protect our ideas, our visions, our intellectual property from theft or exploitation. Let the things you birth in our spirits not be stolen before they reach maturity. Let every song, every book, every sermon, every invention, every dream conceived in holy places be guarded by divine wisdom. Let legal protection, wise counsel, and discernment surround what you have given us. And let our confidence rest not in systems or contracts, but in the truth that what you author cannot be erased by man. And Father, protect us from the bitterness that comes when we feel we have done everything right and still faced harm, when obedience still led to difficulty, when we prayed and pain still came, when we trusted and felt betrayed. Cover those wounds with healing salve. Do not let disappointment breed cynicism. Let it draw us nearer to your heart. Teach us that even in the mystery, even in the unanswered questions, you remain our safest place. I pray for the safety of those who are incarcerated, those paying for their mistakes, those wrongly accused, those simply trying to survive in systems built to forget them. Be present behind every locked door. Let no riot, no violence, no abuse, no injustice go unseen. Intervene, Lord. Protect those who've turned their hearts to you, even within prison walls. Let their cells become sanctuaries. Let salvation rise in even the darkest corners, and let restoration be their future, not destruction. And Lord, I cannot forget those who live each day with invisible burdens, the ones who seem strong on the outside, but are silently crumbling under pressure. You see them, God. You know the ones who smile in public but cry behind closed doors, who lead others while their own hearts are weary. Wrap them in your protection, not only from external harm, but from the internal collapse of a soul stretched thin. Let them find safety in you, not in titles, not in responsibilities, not in performance, but in the truth that they are loved and held, even when they are not holding everything together. Protect those who grieve not only for people, but for lost seasons, missed opportunities, and paths not taken. Grief does not always come with funerals. Sometimes it hides in quiet disappointment, in longings that go unanswered, in doors that stay closed, in those sacred spaces of aching. Be the God who comforts without rushing the process. Let their pain be protected from dismissal. Let their mourning be honored, and let healing come gently, like dawn breaking through the longest night. I lift up those in long distance relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships stretched across borders and time zones. Let their hearts not grow weary with waiting. Protect their connection from miscommunication, from doubt, from fear of loss. Let every call be filled with grace. Let every reunion be marked by joy. And when loneliness threatens to break in, be the comforter who reminds them that no distance is too great for your presence to bridge. I pray for emotional safety and leadership, whether in families, churches, communities, or companies. Let no leader be left isolated. Let no servant leader be forgotten. Let the weight of leadership never become a weapon against the soul. Send trusted confidence. Protect their hearts from pride, from burnout, from criticism that seeks only to wound. Let leaders lead from rest, from wisdom, and from security in your voice. And let their homes be havens where they are known, not for their titles, but for who they truly are in you. Protect the single person who wonders if love will ever come. Let no desperation drive them into danger. Let no loneliness disguise manipulation as affection. Let them wait with strength, with discernment, with joy. Let their lives be full even in the waiting. Send the right person at the right time, with the right heart, and while they wait, be their companion, their anchor, their deepest peace. Let their hearts be safe not on pause, but fully alive in your presence. Lord, I ask for divine protection over every mind battling those who've been told they are not enough, not wanted, not worthy. Silence the voice of the enemy that repeats old wounds. Cancel every cursed word spoken over their identity. Let your truth be louder. Let them hear you say, "You are mine. You are chosen. You are safe with me." Let every echo of rejection be drowned out by the chorus of grace. Wrap their thoughts in clarity. Let their minds be renewed day by day until safety becomes not only their reality, but their belief. For immigrants and refugees, those who've left behind homes, languages, memories, and safety in search of survival, be their protection in unfamiliar lands. Be their translator, their advocate, their shelter, their defender. Let them find favor in foreign systems. Let no exploitation steal their dignity. Let no injustice rob them of the new life they are building. Surround them with kindness. Place strangers turned angels in their path. And let their children know peace their parents never had. I ask you to guard us from self-sabotage, the kind of harm we inflict on ourselves because we have learned to expect pain. Break every pattern of settling for less. Cancel every mindset that says, "This is as good as it gets." Protect us from choosing relationships, jobs, or lifestyles that shrink us, wound us, or pull us away from your will. Let us see ourselves the way you see us, whole, beloved, and worthy of protection, not just from others, but from the lies we sometimes believe about ourselves. And Lord, protect our laughter from growing bitter. Let our humor never become a mask to hide wounds we acknowledge. Let joy be authentic, not forced. Let celebration return. Even if life has been hard, restore the capacity to rejoice freely, fully, loudly. Let belly laughter erupt in places where mourning once dwelled. Let the sound of joy be a declaration to the enemy that we are still standing. Still covered, still surrounded by divine safety on every side. Cover those who are misunderstood, the creatives, the thinkers, the ones whose minds work differently, whose hearts feel more deeply. Let them not be harmed by labels, assumptions, or misinterpretations. Let the world's harsh judgments not define them. Place people in their lives who speak their language, who recognize their worth, who call out the gold within them, and in every moment where they feel too much or not enough, whisper to their spirits, "You are exactly who I created you to be, and I am your hiding place." God, protect our mornings the way we begin our days. Let no chaos start our routines. Let no dread cloud our waking thoughts. Let no bad news be the first thing we consume. Instead, meet us in the stillness. Before the world pulls on our attention, let your spirit draw us into safety where peace is our portion and fear cannot gain a foothold. And when we walk out the door, may we do so with confidence, because we are not walking alone. You are walking shielded by your glory. And as we step into the unfolding of each new day, Lord, let your hand be the first to greet us, before our feet touch the floor, before a single word is spoken, before the world demands anything of us. Let us be wrapped in the certainty that we are covered, that every movement we make is observed and guided by the one who numbers our steps and holds every heartbeat in his hand. Let our hearts awaken not to worry, but to worship. Let the morning light not signal chaos, but covenant that today, as always, we are walking within the bounds of your divine safety. I lift up the ones who are forced to rise into responsibilities far beyond their years, young caregivers, eldest siblings raising younger ones, children growing up too fast in broken homes. Lord, protect their innocence. Let no heaviness crush their spirits. Let no responsibility rob them of wonder. Provide help they did not know they could ask for. Send mentors, resources, safe adults, and as they carry what should never have been theirs to bear alone, let them come to know you not only as God Almighty, but as Father, Counselor, Provider, Protector, and Friend. Cover those who work night shifts while the world sleeps, the nurses who keep vigil beside the sick, the security guards watching over buildings, the truck drivers navigating empty roads, the cleaning crews restoring order for the next day. While darkness covers the earth, let your light hover over them. Let no danger befall them in the stillness of the night. Let no fatigue become an open door for harm. Let their minds stay alert and their hearts stay encouraged. Be their strength in the silence. Be their comfort in the quiet. And I bring before you the dreams we have laid down, the hopes we buried because the path seemed too treacherous, too long, too uncertain. Revive what fear has silenced. Remind us that nothing you have planted is ever too fragile to protect. If you breathe the dream into us, you also provided the safety required to carry it forward. Let us trust again. Move again. Step out again knowing that we are not chasing fantasy, but walking into divine destiny that is guarded on all sides by your love and wisdom. I pray now for the ones whose safety has been shaken by betrayal, those who let others in, only to be wounded, those who trusted the wrong voice, who opened their hearts and were met with harm. Be their restoration. Be the one who gently gathers every broken piece. Heal their discernment so they do not confuse vigilance with fear. Guard their future relationships with clarity, patience, and truth. And when love returns, let it find them healed not because they denied the pain, but because you walked them through it and rebuilt their faith in what is good. Father, protect the teachers and educators, those called to nurture minds, hearts, and futures. Guard their classrooms from violence, from unrest, from spiritual darkness. Let every child who enters their room feel the peace that flows from your spirit. Let every lesson be saturated in grace. Give teachers discernment to notice what others miss. Give them supernatural patience. Let no word they speak bring unintentional harm. Let no moment of fatigue be an opening for discouragement. Remind them that their labor is sacred, and you are with them in every hour. Lord, I ask you to protect us from the temptation to escape life when it becomes too overwhelming. When we are tempted to numb out with distractions, with substances, with overworking, or with isolation, be the one who interrupts. Be the gentle voice calling us back to presence. Let us not run from life, but run to you. Protect our bodies from harm in moments of despair. Guard our decisions in times of fatigue. Remind us that we are safest when we are fully surrendered, fully seen, and fully known by you. I lift up every place we frequent without a second thought: grocery stores, gas stations, restaurants, post offices, parks. Let these everyday spaces become holy ground. Let no hidden threat wait in shadows. Let no ordinary moment become a scene of tragedy. Let strangers be kind. Let workers be alert. Let peace follow us wherever we go, not because the world is perfect, but because you are perfect in how you cover us. Cover our creativity. Lord, the songs we write, the businesses we build, the content we post, the stories we share. Let nothing be stolen or twisted. Let our work not be sabotaged by envy, nor poisoned by pride. Let every idea be anchored in humility, born in prayer, and protected by grace. Let no viral moment become a vortex. Let no audience become an idol. Let what we build reflect your kingdom and remain untouched by the motives of man. And Father, let your protection rest on those waiting for justice, those sitting in courtrooms, those navigating legal battles, those pressing forward against powerful systems. Let truth be their advocate. Let light expose every hidden lie. Let manipulation fall apart in plain sight. And when justice seems slow, let their hope remain fastened to something higher than verdicts. You are the God who makes all things right. Let your hand move swiftly. Let restitution come. Let dignity be restored. Protect our inner child. Lord, the version of ourselves who still remembers the first wound, who still hides in corners at certain tones of voice, who still aches over what was never healed. Be the God who not only protects our future, but rewrites our history with healing. Go back into our memories. Lord, rescue us where we were left alone. Guard us in places we did not even realize needed guarding. Let the child in us be free to laugh again, trust again, breathe again. And Lord, as I linger in your presence, I also bring before you those battling internal wars, the ones no one else sees. The constant push and pull between light and dark. The struggle to believe while doubt claws at the edges of their faith. Protect their minds from collapsing under pressure. Let no intrusive thought take root. Let no self-condemning voice go unchallenged. Let every whisper of defeat be silenced by the thunder of your truth. Surround them with the clarity that comes only from youth, that they are not broken beyond repair. They are not too far gone. They are still held tightly in your embrace. I lift up the widows and widowers, those who once shared their life with another and now walk alone. Let no day feel too long, no silence feel too empty. Cover them with comfort that transcends explanation. Let them feel safe in the stillness, knowing that you are near in every echo of grief and every quiet memory. Let companionship come in new forms: a phone call, a neighbor's kindness, a moment of unexpected joy. And let their hearts not shrink back in fear of loving again, even if differently. Let every step they take forward be blessed and protected. I cry out for those navigating the painful road of forgiveness, those who were harmed by someone they trusted, and yet feel the call to release the bitterness that chains them. Protect their hearts as they open old wounds, not to dwell in pain, but to let your healing flood, and give them strength to forgive, not as a denial of justice, but as a path to freedom. Let no act of courage be punished. Let no tear go unnoticed. Guard them from false guilt, from shame that tries to convince them that letting go means what happened did not matter. Let forgiveness be their fortress and their freedom. I pray for the spiritual wanderers, those who once walked closely with you, but have since drifted, distracted or disillusioned. Protect them from the predators that wait in the wilderness. Let no counterfeit voice lead them farther away. Let no distorted doctrine pull them into danger. Let no hurtful experience with others in your name convince them that you were never real. Instead, speak gently into their hearts once more. Whisper their name in the stillness. Let them know you have never stopped watching, never stopped waiting, never stopped covering them. And Lord, I speak safety into the places where faith is dangerous, where worship must be whispered, where gathering must be secret, where Bibles are hidden in walls and sermons are committed to memory. Strengthen your persecuted church. Let boldness rise not from arrogance, but from unshakable peace. Let their enemies be confused, their captors disarmed, their prayers answered in power. Let miracles break out in the middle of the night. Let their oppressors become their protectors, and let the light that cannot be hidden shine even brighter under pressure. I pray for those carrying secrets. They have never shared truths that feel too heavy, memories that seem too shameful, regrets they believe are unforgivable. Protect them from isolation, from spiraling thoughts, from the torment of silence. Send safe people, God. Send someone who sees past the mask. Let there be one conversation, one moment of courage, one divine appointment that opens the floodgates of healing. And when the truth is finally spoken aloud, let it not destroy them, let it deliver them. Protect our boundaries from being breached by people who do not honor them. Let no manipulator twist our kindness into compliance. Let no guilt trip become a ticket to access what we have been called to guard. Let us love without enabling, give without depleting, and serve without self-erasing. Give us the wisdom to know when to say yes, and the holy confidence to say no when necessary. And when we are misunderstood, when others weaponize our no, let your peace be our vindication. Lord, I bring before you the ones preparing for big changes: marriage, birth, adoption, retirement, graduation, new jobs. These are joyful milestones, but also deeply vulnerable transitions. Wrap these moments in protection. Let nothing steal the joy that should accompany these seasons. Guard against fear of the unknown, against sabotage from the enemy, against anxious thoughts that try to disrupt what you have ordained. Let each step be made with confidence that you are walking beside them, celebrating and covering them all at once. I pray for safety in our resting. Let sleep be deep and untroubled. Let dreams be holy, untainted by fear or demonic interference. Let our bodies truly recover. Let our souls breathe. Let rest be more than just physical, it be spiritual restoration. Emotional recalibration. Mental healing. And when we rise again, let it be in full strength, with fresh clarity and divine joy rising before the sun even does. And Lord, protect the parts of us that still carry questions, the unanswered prayers, the miracles that did not come the way we expected, the times we cried out and heaven seemed silent. Dante, let those moments become spiritual infection. Let them become places of intimacy. Meet us not always with answers, but with presence. And in the tension between what we hoped for and what happened, be the anchor that keeps us from drifting into despair. And Lord, as I remain in this sacred conversation with you, I continue to lift up the quiet corners of life, the overlooked, the ordinary, the subtle places where harm can sneak in unnoticed, where awareness can settle like dust. I ask you to guard the unnoticed moments, the transitions between major events, the pauses in our days where minds wander and hearts falter. Let not 1 second of our lives fall outside your protective care. Even when our attention drifts, even when our prayers are whispered with trembling lips, let your steadfast watch never waver. I bring before you the caregivers of emotional burdens, those who counsel others, who sit in therapy rooms, who answer calls in crisis centers, who pray with strangers through hotlines and hospital visits. They carry so much unseen. They absorb pain that is not theirs. They speak hope while their own hearts ache. Be their covering, Lord. Let no weight be too heavy for their souls. Shield them from compassion fatigue, from spiritual dryness, from the slow erosion of empathy. Let your spirit replenish what they pour out. Let every word they speak be drenched in the safety of your truth. I pray now for the ones enduring bullying in schools, in homes, in workplaces, for those targeted, teased, silenced, belittled. Let no cruel word pierce deeper than your word heals. Let no label outlast the truth of their identity in you. Build up their inner strength. Let them stand in dignity even when others try to tear them down. Raise up defenders around them, voices that speak justice, arms that protect, systems that respond. And in the places where silence has reigned too long, let truth roar like a lion. Lord, cover those walking through addiction, recovery the ones choosing sobriety day by day, sometimes minute by minute. Let no moment of weakness become an open door to destruction. Let no past failure convince them they cannot walk in freedom. Send accountability that loves without enabling. Send friends who cheer for their progress. Send counselors who speak life. Let every relapse be met with redemptive grace, not shame. Let safety be found not just in environments, but in identity that they are not their addiction. They are your beloved, constantly pursued, eternally protected. I ask you to watch over those facing surgery or medical procedures. Let every hand that touches their body be guided by your wisdom. Let machines function properly. Let medications do only what they are intended to do. And let the presence of your Spirit fill every hospital room. For those in recovery, let no infection take root, no complication arise, no discouragement set in. Let peace rest upon their bodies like a blanket, and let restoration come quickly, fully, miraculously. And for those who must deliver hard news, doctors sharing diagnosis, officers delivering loss, parents explaining separation, wrap them in strength. Let every word be covered in grace. Let them not carry the guilt of outcomes they did not create. Give them courage to speak with compassion and clarity. And let the ones who receive the news be surrounded by comfort before the words even fully settle in their hearts. Let safety begin even at the point of heartbreak. Lord, I pray for the protection of memory itself for those fighting forgetfulness, dementia, Alzheimer's, traumatic brain injuries. Guard their minds from disintegration. Let the core of who they are remain unshaken, even if names and dates fade. Let their dignity remain untouched. Let caregivers see past confusion into the eternal worth within. Let sacred moments still reach through the fog's miles, that light, songs that stir remembrance, prayers that anchor even when language is lost. Protect our elderly from exploitation, from scammers, from those who prey on trust and vulnerability. Let no financial scheme succeed. Let no manipulation go unnoticed. Raise up protectors within their families, within communities, within churches. Give them wisdom to see through deception and the courage to speak up when something feels wrong. Let their golden years be filled with peace, respect, and the knowledge that they are still valued, still surrounded, still held. I lift up the single parents doing the work of two. Let no exhaustion expose them to harm. Let no loneliness cloud their judgment. Let no financial strain open the door to unsafe compromises. Provide for them in miraculous ways: grocery bags at the door, rent paid unexpectedly, favor at work, rest in the midst of chaos. Let their children be witnesses to the goodness of God in their home. Let laughter never leave, even when energy runs low. Let your safety wrap around them like a divine embrace that never lets go. And God, I ask that you cover our technology, the devices we use every day. Let no data breach violate our security. Let no social media algorithm feed our minds harmful content. Let no image corrupt our purity. No comment injure our peace. Help us steward our time online wisely. Help us protect our children in digital spaces. Let every password be secure. Every interaction be guarded by discernment. And when screens become overwhelming, when the world feels too loud and fast, call us back into stillness, into your presence, where safety is not pixelated but powerfully real. And as the prayer flows on, Lord, I lift up the emotional battlegrounds that we rarely speak of, hidden struggles beneath functioning lives, the battles behind quiet eyes, the internal wars fought with a smile on the surface. Let your divine safety extend into these sacred inner spaces where others cannot reach, but where you dwell fully. Guard us from the weight of self-condemnation, from relentless perfectionism, from the silent fear that we are not enough. Wrap us in the truth that we are already covered by grace, already accepted, already loved in full by the one who formed us and knows our deepest needs before we whisper a word. I bring before you the parents whose children have walked away from faith, whose sons or daughters are wandering in places of spiritual danger, addiction, rebellion, or despair. Let no distance, emotional or physical, block your protection. Surround those children with your mercy. Call to them in the night hours. Interrupt their plans with divine encounters. Send laborers across their paths. Let every seed planted in childhood be watered now by your Spirit. Let no weapon formed against their destiny prosper. And for the parents, Lord, guard their hearts from hopelessness. Let their prayers become the invisible net that catches their children before they fall too far. I pray for those dealing with chronic pain, for whom each day is not defined by schedule but by symptoms. Protect them from despair. Protect them from medical fatigue. Let the pain not speak louder than your presence. Let no moment of agony go unnoticed by heaven. When medication fails, be their comfort. When doctors are baffled, be their wisdom. And even when healing does not come as swiftly as hoped, let hope itself be their refuge, their comfort, their shield against weariness. Protect the dreamers, Lord, those who carry ideas, visions, callings too large for others to understand. Let no voice of cynicism shrink their faith. Let no pattern of delay cause them to abort the mission. Let no failure convince them that the dream was never real. Surround their process with supernatural protection. Let every delay be divine. Let every setback be a setup for glory. Hide them in your timing. Guard the work being done in secret. And when the appointed time comes, let what they birth be untouched by fear. Fully anointed and unmistakably marked by your hand. And Lord, for the creatives and artists who make beauty in a world saturated by brokenness, those who write, paint, compose, design, and shield their sensitivity. Let their hearts not be wounded by rejection, nor their gifts distorted by the desire for approval. Let them create in freedom, knowing that they reflect your image when they bring something new. Protect them from comparison, from burnout, from bitterness. Let their work not only express, but heal. Let it draw others closer to truth, to peace, to light. I pray over every vulnerable moment in our lives' first days, last days, goodbyes, funerals, transitions, diagnoses, confessions, those moments when our hearts are tender and exposed, when one word can heal or destroy, when we are standing on sacred ground. Let no enemy exploit our vulnerability. Let no spirit of shame, pride, or fear sabotage the grace you are releasing in those fragile moments. Let love lead. Let wisdom speak. Let humility anchor. Let your spirit minister in ways no human could ever orchestrate. Protect our decisions, Lord, especially the ones we do not realize are significant. The job offer we are unsure of, the house we think about buying, the move we are debating, the relationship we are praying over. Guard us from impatience. Shield us from distraction. Give us clarity so we do not mistake convenience for calling or urgency for direction. Let peace, not pressure, be our compass. And if a decision leads to danger, disrupt it, God. Block it. Reroute it. Close the door with mercy before we walk through it unknowingly. And Lord, in this very moment, I lift up the caregivers of faith, the pastors, intercessors, spiritual mentors, ministry leaders, those who labor in the trenches of souls. Protect them from spiritual attack, from discouragement, from burnout, from moral failure. Let no gossip tarnish their work. Let no betrayal derail their faith. Be their covering, not just in public ministry, but in private places, marriages, parenting, mental health. Let every word they speak be protected by integrity. Let every battle they face be won before it reaches their doorstep. Remind them they are not alone, that their reward is not only eternal, but daily as you surround them with strength, with peace, with your glory. Protect those who feel unseen, those working tirelessly behind the scenes with little recognition, the janitors, the caretakers, the cooks, the maintenance workers, the volunteers. Let them know that heaven sees, that you honor what man forgets. Let their efforts be fruitful. Let their work be safe. Let their labor not be in vain. And in quiet corners, whisper to them the truth that they matter deeply to you, that every act of service is sacred in your sight. I bring before you the unmarried people longing to be chosen. Protect them from settling. Protect them from confusion. Let no counterfeit steal their time or their trust. Let them feel deeply cherished even in seasons of solitude. Remind them that being whole is not dependent on a wedding ring, and that true safety comes not from human companionship alone, but from knowing they are never abandoned by their Maker. And Lord, I continue to press in, carrying this unbroken stream of prayer deeper into the river of your presence, where words flow from spirit and burdens lift at the mere whisper of your name. I lift up the marriages on the brink, the homes filled with silence, tension, and wounded love. I ask for supernatural protection over the sacred covenant between husband and wife. Let no words spoken in anger fracture what you joined. Let no betrayal destroy what was meant to reflect your faithfulness. Guard their unity from the arrows of offense, from the poison of resentment, from the exhaustion of unmet needs. Cover their hearts with humility. Let grace be the language of their reconciliation. And even when it seems impossible, let your hand reach in and do what human effort cannot. Heal, rebuild, restore, renew. I bring before you the children growing up in divided households, navigating two worlds, carrying questions far too big for their age. Wrap them in a sense of security that transcends circumstance. Let them know they are not the reason for separation. Let no bitterness between adults spill into their hearts. Guard them from instability. Surround them with peace in both homes. Let them find joy that cannot be stolen by court orders or custody exchanges. Let them grow up knowing that their identity is not fractured, for they are whole in you. Protect those who wrestle with their faith not in rebellion, but in honest questioning, the ones reading scripture through tears, asking why and how long, the ones still showing up, still hoping, even when the light feels dim. Keep their hearts from drifting into despair. Let their doubts be met with gentle truth, not condemnation. Let their searching lead them straight to your feet. Let their wrestle become the birthplace of deeper revelation. And while they question, let their souls still be held securely in the safety of your unwavering love. I lift up the elderly who feel forgotten, those who sit in quiet rooms, replaying memories, wondering if their lives still matter. Whisper to them that their value never expired, that their prayers are powerful, that their wisdom is needed, that heaven has not overlooked them. Let no moment of loneliness become a breeding ground for depression. Let caregivers notice. Let family call. Let neighbors check in. And let your spirit fill their space with such thick peace that even in solitude, they feel deeply seen and divinely safe. I pray for the foster children who have never known stability, for the ones bouncing from house to house, whose hearts flinch at every new door. Place them in homes of compassion. Shield them from harm in the system. Let their futures not be defined by statistics, but by salvation. Heal the trauma that has settled in their young bones. Let them experience consistency for the first time, not in environment alone, but in love that does not leave. Be their anchor, their shelter, their ever-present Father when all others fail. And Father, I bring to you the safety of emotional expression, the courage to cry, to grieve, to admit pain. Protect us from the lie that tears are weakness. Let mourning have its place. Let lament be welcomed in our worship. Let the sacredness of sorrow teach us something holy that, even in our most vulnerable state, we are not less in your eyes. You do not flinch at our agony. You bottle our tears. You sit with us in ashes. And while we wait for beauty to rise, you guard our hearts from growing hard, bitter, or numb. Protect the peacemakers, the ones who step into conflict not to dominate, but to reconcile. The ones who mediate arguments, who calm tensions, who carry the emotional weight of other people's war. Let no backlash find them. Let no misunderstanding wound them. Fill them with wisdom, with boldness, with supernatural discernment. Let their words carry authority. Let their presence bring stability. And when they pour out more than they realize, fill them again with peace that surpasses understanding. Lord, I ask you to cover the places in us that are afraid to hope again, the places disappointed too many times. The dreams prayed for that still have not arrived. The healing we believed for that has not come. Let no prolonged waiting turn into silent surrender. Guard our faith from erosion. Remind us that delay is not denial. Let us hope boldly, even when evidence is thin. Let our hope be built not on outcomes, but on the unshakable truth of who you are, faithful, good, and never late. Protect our schedules from becoming traps. Let us not pack our days so full that we edge out rest, reflection, and relationship with you. Let no business become a badge of worth. Help us say no without guilt. Guard us from overextending to impress others or escape stillness. Help us rediscover the sacred rhythm of work and Sabbath, of movement and margin. And in the quiet moments, meet us with clarity, renewal, and gentle reminders that being still is sometimes the safest place we can be. I lift up those walking the road of grief after miscarriage or infant loss. Let no life be minimized because it was short. Let no parent feel their pain is invalid. Protect their hearts from silent suffering, from cultural dismissal, from emotional isolation. Let their arms feel held, even when they feel empty. Let their tears speak to you in the language only you understand. Give them hope that new life can still spring from ground watered with tears. And let healing rise, not by forgetting, but by being gently carried through the valley. And Lord, as I linger in this steady communion, I now lift up the ones facing quiet crisis, those who show up for life every day while carrying invisible burdens that threaten to break them. The ones who feel like they are barely holding it together, who smile when they want to scream, who serve others while feeling completely empty. Wrap them in a cloak of divine safety that holds even the fragmented pieces. Let their silent strength not be mistaken for a lack of need. Whisper into their awareness that they are not forgotten, not overlooked, not abandoned, but seen and surrounded by a God who understands even the sighs that never form into words. I pray for the dreamers who carry vision in their hearts, but face constant resistance. Those who feel like giving up, not because they do not believe in what you gave them, but because the road has grown long and lonely. Let no rejection become a stopping point. Let no delay feel like a denial. Surround them with divine encouragement through unexpected provision, through prophetic affirmation, through divine timing that breaks every barrier. Let the seeds of obedience not die in the soil of discouragement. Protect their vision from theft, their motivation from burnout, their belief from erosion. I lift up those battling spiritual fatigue, the ones who keep showing up for church, for prayer, for ministry, yet feel numb inside. The ones who long to feel you, but instead feel distance. Let them know that your nearness is not measured by emotion, and that even when they feel dry, your spirit still covers them. Let their faith not be shaken by silence. Let worship become their warfare. Let their soul be refreshed by the truth that you are not a God who leaves mid-journey, but one who carries us when we can walk on our own. Protect the ones facing decisions with no clear answers, forks in the road, where both paths seem unknown, where risks and responsibilities intertwine. Let no pressure from others become louder than your voice. Let peace not panic be the compass that guides their steps. Block every path not appointed by you. If a closed door will save them from harm, then shut it completely. And if what is ahead feels scary, but is full of your will, then flood their heart with courage that overtakes fear. Lord, I ask for covering over long-distance families, those separated by oceans, by work, by war, by circumstance. Let their love remain intact across miles and years. Guard their bonds from disconnection. Let technology become a bridge, not a barrier. Heal hearts wounded by the ache of absence. And for those who long to be reunited, make a way. O God, move mountains. Change schedules. Grant visas, open doors, and until the reunion comes, let every message sent and every memory shared be wrapped in your presence. Protect the ones in emotionally abusive relationships, the ones who are constantly diminished, manipulated, criticized, or gaslit. Let them see clearly. Speak bravely and walk freely into wholeness. Let no charm deceive them, no history hold them hostage, no guilt keep them bound. Raise up safe exits. Trustworthy allies, and a deep inner knowing that you never created them to live in fear or control. Let their dignity be restored as you guide them gently into truth and safety. I pray now for the estranged, the siblings not speaking, the parents and children who no longer communicate, the friends turned strangers. Let no bitterness become permanent. Protect each heart from pride that hardens. Let your spirit soften what years have made stiff. Let forgiveness rise like a tide. Let healing begin with one message, one prayer, one small movement toward reconciliation. And if the door is not yet ready to open, let closure still come not through blame, but through the peace of surrendering it to your care. Cover the young people navigating a rapidly changing world bombarded by images, expectations, ideologies, and anxieties. Protect their minds from identity confusion, their hearts from emotional overload, their spirits from deception dressed as liberation. Let their lives be grounded in truth, even when truth is unpopular. Let them find purpose not in popularity, but in your promises. Place mentors in their path who lead with love and wisdom, and let them be fearless in choosing the narrow road, knowing that your hand is over them every step of the way. Lord, I ask you to shield the sensitive souls, the ones who feel everything deeply, who cry for others, who carry the weight of the world in their gentle hearts. Let not their sensitivity be a doorway to harm, but a channel of heaven's compassion. Protect them from becoming overwhelmed. Show them that their softness is not a weakness, but a reflection of your tenderness. Let them know when to speak, when to rest, when to release what was never theirs to carry. Guard their empathy from becoming exhaustion. And Father, protect our elderly in care homes and facilities, those who depend on strangers for dignity. Let no abuse or neglect hide in darkness. Let staff be filled with compassion. Let families be vigilant and loving. Let every resident be reminded that they are not in a place of waiting to die, but living under your watchful eye, valuable until their final breath and worthy of honor in every moment. And Lord, as this prayer continues to rise like incense before you, I now lift up the ones navigating seasons of waiting, those standing at the edge of unanswered prayers, caught in the tension between faith and frustration. They have fasted, they have believed, they have spoken promises aloud through tears, and yet still they wait. Guard their hearts from growing cold. Protect their hope from fading. Let no delay be mistaken for denial. Let no silence be interpreted as absence. Speak softly in their waiting. Remind them daily that you are not just preparing the blessing. You are preparing them to carry it. I pray for those living under financial strain, where fear and lack press like a constant storm, for the parents who skip meals so their children can eat, for the single person afraid of eviction, for the family choosing between medicine and utilities. Cover them, God. Release provision that surprises. Send unexpected generosity. Multiplied resources. Favor in places they did not even seek. Let financial safety come not just in numbers, but in the assurance that you are the provider, the one who sees the need before it is spoken. Let every anxious calculation be replaced with a deep breath of trust in your supernatural economy. Protect those in toxic work environments where peace is stolen by control, dishonor, or burnout, where manipulation thrives and kindness is rare. Shield their hearts from bitterness, their minds from cynicism, their integrity from compromise. Let them not carry stress home like a shadow. Be their defender in every closed-door meeting. Be their voice when they are silenced. Be their refuge when they are blamed unfairly. And if it is time to go, make the path clear. If it is time to stay, make the environment shift. Let no job come at the cost of their peace. I bring before you the ones who've experienced spiritual abuse, those wounded by leaders they trusted, broken by institutions that claimed to represent you. Heal the places where religion distorted your voice. Let them meet you again, not in performance, not in fear, not in shame, but in the gentle embrace of a shepherd who leads with grace. Let every lie they were taught about you be dismantled, and every painful memory be rewoven into a testimony of redemption. Guard them from abandoning faith altogether. Reintroduce yourself to them in the quiet places where authenticity reigns. I pray for caregivers of the terminally ill, those who watch someone they love slip slowly away, who wake each day with fresh grief even before the loss has come. Strengthen their weary arms. Protect their emotions from being swallowed in despair. Let no word go unsaid, no moment unlived. Let peace be in the room, even when medicine fails. Let comfort be their daily portion. And when the final breath comes, be the one who catches them, both the soul leaving and the one left behind. Let the room be filled with your presence, so thick that death loses its sting. Lord, cover those working in emergency services, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, 911 operators. Let no trauma embed itself too deeply in their spirits. Let no hardened exterior hide the pain they carry. Let no mistake haunt their sleep. Guard their reactions under pressure. Protect their bodies from harm and their minds from fatigue. Let camaraderie be strong, leadership be wise, and decisions be guided by compassion and clarity. And when the world thanks them once a year, let heaven honor them daily for standing on the front lines of crisis and chaos. Protect the ones whose dreams have shifted, who once thought their lives would look a certain way by now, but instead face disappointment. Those who imagine different careers, different marriages, different outcomes. Let them not live in the shadow of what could be been. Let regret not become a permanent residence. Redeem what was lost. Show them that nothing in their lives has been wasted. Let safety come in the knowledge that even detours are still under your divine direction, that you are never late and never limited by our timelines. I lift up those with invisible illnesses, autoimmune disorders, chronic fatigue, mental health conditions, neurological disorders that go undiagnosed or misunderstood. Protect them from the dismissiveness of others. Let empathy be extended. Let accurate diagnosis come. Let symptoms be validated, not minimized, and in the day-to-day fight that no one else sees, be their breath when they feel exhausted. Let energy return like a wave. Let moments of rest become moments of divine renewal. I bring before you the estranged fathers and mothers who long to reunite with their children, those who carry years of mistakes, silence, shame. Let grace open doors that pride once closed. Let hearts soften. Let reconciliation be possible, even when it seems unlikely. Let letters be written, phone calls answered, bridges rebuilt. And if the door remains closed, let peace still reign in the one who tried. Let healing not depend solely on others' responses, but on the transformative work of your Spirit. And Father, I lift up those who've lost their identity through trauma, those who do not recognize themselves anymore after abuse, loss, war, divorce, or betrayal, who look in the mirror and see a stranger. Reintroduce them to who they are in you. Peel back the layers of pain until beauty is visible again. Let no part of their story be too broken for you to rewrite. Let safety be found in rediscovery not of who they were, but who you have called them to become. And so, Lord, I continue to surrender this ever-deepening stream of intercession, knowing that there is no place too hidden, no soul too broken, and no cry too faint for you to hear. I now lift up those walking through spiritual deconstruction, those taking apart everything they thought they believed, not to rebuild but to rebuild on solid ground. Protect their hearts in this vulnerable journey. Let no voice of confusion become louder than your voice of truth. Let no counterfeit philosophy seduce them away from the core of your presence. Be the compass they did not know they needed, and when their faith feels unrecognizable, remind them that you are not shaken by their questions. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever, even when our understanding is not. I pray for the children being raised in instability, where food is not guaranteed, where chaos reigns, where protection is a luxury and not a given. Place a hedge of divine security around them. Let guardian angels stand at their doors. Let their bodies be shielded, their minds untouched by trauma, and their spirits unshaken by the storms around them. Let teachers, neighbors, and strangers become instruments of your intervention. And even if their surroundings are unstable, plant inside them a faith that cannot be uprooted. Lord, protect those who've been misjudged, the ones who have been misunderstood, mislabeled, or accused falsely, the ones carrying the weight of reputations they did not earn. Be their defense in the courtroom, in the boardroom, in the family meeting, in the quiet conversations held behind their backs. Let truth surface like gold from the fire. Let time and integrity be their vindication. And let them not harden under the weight of suspicion, but keep their hearts pure, their motives clean, and their trust in you unwavering. I lift up those who have experienced public shame, at those whose failures became headlines, whose mistakes were mocked, whose lowest moments were shared for the world to see. Let no shame bury them. Let no scarlet letter define them. Restore their name, O God, not for approval, but for peace. Let them know that your grace covers even what the crowd remembers. Let them rise from the ashes not in secrecy, but in holy confidence, walking boldly as testimonies of restoration. Cover those working in the entertainment industry, artists, actors, writers, dancers, directors, producers. Protect their creativity from corruption, their identity from compromise, and their calling from being swallowed by culture. Let them remain anchored in truth while swimming through waves of influence. Guard their platforms. Let their message reflect light, not just relevance. And when they are wary of the pressure, let your presence be the place where their souls find rest and renewal. I lift up the missionaries, God, the ones who've said yes to hard places, distant lands, and unfamiliar languages. Protect their bodies from illness, their minds from isolation, their families from harm. Let their work bear fruit in its season. Let the soil respond to their sowing. Let provision never run dry. Let local communities rise up in partnership and unity. And when discouragement knocks at their door, let their hearts remember that they are not alone. They are backed by all of heaven and covered by unceasing prayer. Lord, I pray for those standing in the in-between, between jobs, between relationships, between diagnosis and healing, between battle and breakthrough. Let the hallway be holy. Let the waiting room be sacred. Let the middle ground become the place of deepest transformation. Protect them from despair and from rushing into decisions born from fear. Give them patience, not panic. Give them perspective, not pressure. Let them come out of the transition not only protected, but prepared for the weight of what is next. Cover those who work in education, administration, and policy, the ones who shape curriculums, budgets, and decisions affecting countless lives. Let integrity govern every choice. Let every policy crafted carry wisdom and justice. Protect them from the influence of greed or bias. Let their leadership reflect your heart for the vulnerable, the overlooked, the marginalized. And when the weight of responsibility becomes heavy, let your spirit carry them with clarity and divine strategy. I pray for those who travel constantly: flight attendants, pilots, truck drivers, traveling nurses, performers on tour. Let each journey be shielded. Let fatigue not lead to error. Let long nights not give way to loneliness. Let airports, highways, hotels, and transit lines be covered in your presence. Protect their homes while they are away. Let reunions be joyful, rest be deep, and every mile traveled be one marked by your hand of favor and divine safety. I bring before you the caregivers of disabled children, those who love fiercely while carrying the daily load of care, advocacy, and sacrifice. Strengthen their bodies, refresh their minds, and cover their emotions in supernatural grace. Let their children be surrounded by resources, compassion, and opportunity. Let society shift to see their value, not just their needs. And let those caregivers know that every tear sound, every night stayed awake, every prayer whispered, none of it has gone unnoticed by you. And Lord, I ask you to extend your safety over the nights that stretch too long, the ones filled with worry, insomnia, nightmares, and the dark thoughts that creep in when the world is quiet. For those whose minds race when the lights go out, be the voice that calms the storm, be the peace that stills the air. Let no torment visit them in dreams. Let no anxiety steal sleep. Let beds become altars. Let pillows hold heads that know what it means to rest under the shadow of the Almighty. Let the deepest hours of night become the sacred womb of new strength. And Lord, as this stream of sacred words continues to pour from a heart surrendered to you, I now lift up those whose calling requires great courage, the whistleblowers, the truth tellers, the advocates for justice who risk reputation, comfort, and sometimes safety to speak what is right. Surround them with divine covering. Lord, let no retaliation prosper. Let no slander stick. Let no isolation silence their voices. Give them courage rooted in heaven, and let them know that even if the world rejects them, heaven stands to applaud their obedience. Let their boldness be tempered with wisdom, and their steps ordered by your Spirit alone. I pray for those who have no address, those living on the streets, in cars, in shelters, beneath bridges. Let them be protected from violence, from the cold, from disease, from despair. Let resources find them. Let dignity return. Let connection be restored. Let someone call them by name today. Let someone see their worth beyond their circumstance. And for the ones who pass them by, soften their hearts. Make room in cities and systems for compassion to rise. Let those who feel invisible discover that they have always been visible to you. Lord, protect the peacemakers in divided families, the one who reaches across estrangement to make a phone call, the one who holds space at the table for those who left, the one who carries both sides of every story in silence. Let their hearts not become battlefields. Let their attempts not be twisted. Give them discernment to know when to speak and when to simply love, and when unity is not possible. Give them peace in knowing they tried. Let them find safety in your affirmation when human reconciliation remains out of reach. I lift up the families of military members and first responders, those who stay awake while their loved ones serve, always waiting for the next phone call, praying it never brings bad news. Wrap their households in supernatural protection. Let reunions come without delay. Let deployments end in joyful return. And for the ones who have already received the call no one wants, bring comfort that runs deeper than time, deeper than explanation. Let honor cover their grief, and let peace be more than a phrase spoken at ceremonies, but a presence that remains. Protect those who are isolated not by geography, but by language immigrants, refugees, and travelers in foreign lands who cannot yet speak the tongue of their surroundings. Guard them from being taken advantage of. Help them navigate with grace and confidence. Send interpreters. Send kindness. Send understanding. Let their difference not be a danger, but a doorway to connection. Let their culture be celebrated, not silenced. And let their hearts be lifted in the knowledge that they are never foreign to you. I pray for those who battle obsessive thoughts, compulsions, and mental loops that they can't control. Protect them from shame. Let no intrusive thought be mistaken for identity. Let no compulsion define their worth. Bring clarity into the confusion. Bring stillness into the storm. Bring rest to minds that are always running. Give them tools, resources, deliverance. Let healing come in layers, in moments, in miracles, and even in the middle of the battle. Let them know they are safe, they are loved, they are not alone. Cover the caregivers of aging parents, those navigating role reversals, making decisions, balancing respect and responsibility. Let resentment not take root. Let energy not run dry. Let clarity come in confusion. When guilt whispers, let grace speak louder. Let boundaries be healthy and relationships stay rooted in love. For the parents losing memory, losing strength, losing independence, let their dignity never be lost. Let every act of care be a holy act, and let every moment be covered in your gentle presence. I lift up those pursuing education in hostile or unsafe environments, girls in regions where school is forbidden, students in violent cities, scholars persecuted for their beliefs. Let knowledge become a weapon of light. Let every lesson be guarded. Let every step to class be protected. Let their curiosity be honored, not punished. And for those teaching them, often at great risk, be their rear guard and shield. May classrooms become sanctuaries. May pencils and pages carry the weight of purpose. And may the pursuit of wisdom never be silenced by fear. Lord, protect the integrity of the church, not the building, but the body. Let no scandal weaken our witness. Let no leader fall without accountability and restoration. Let no doctrine twist the gospel into chains. Raise up prophets who weep before they speak. Raise up teachers who live what they preach. Raise up pastors who guard, not control. And for the congregants, let no betrayal from people sever their bond with you. Let healing happen not through performance, but through presence. Let love be louder than religion, and let safety be found again in spiritual community. Cover our aging infrastructure bridges, trains, roads, systems built in another era, but still carrying us today. Let no accident happen from negligence. Let no community be overlooked. Let those in leadership prioritize people over profit. Let inspections be honest. Let repairs be swift. And when corruption tries to cut corners, raise up whistleblowers and guardians of public trust. Let our cities not become traps, but havens of movement and safety, watched over by your providential eye. I pray now for those in labor rooms and birthing centers, the mothers pushing through pain, the babies entering a broken world, the medical teams guiding them through. Let every delivery be safe. Let every heartbeat be strong. Let no complications steal joy. Let every room be filled with your breath, with your light, with angels unseen. And for the mothers who weep over loss instead of life, cradle their pain. Be with them in the silence. Mourn with them. Carry them. And let healing come, not as a replacement, but as a divine reassurance that you never leave us in sorrow without hope. And Lord, as this deep well of prayer continues to flow without interruption, I now lift up the families learning to live with lost, the parents who return to a home where a child's laughter no longer echoes, the siblings who feel the absence of someone who once walked beside them, the spouses now navigating life alone. Wrap them in layers of your comfort, so thick that no wordless night, no reminder in the quiet corners of the house, no unopened drawer or untouched photo album can steal the sense that you are still there, steady, unmoving, present in the grief. Let mourning take its full breath, but never allow it to become a thief of their peace. Let beauty rise in time, not by rushing sorrow away, but by restoring joy with gentleness and grace. I lift up those affected by natural disasters, those whose homes have been reduced to debris, whose neighborhoods lie in ruins, whose families are scattered by storms, fires, earthquakes, or floods. Be the shelter in the storm, the rescuer in the rubble, the hope when all else is washed away. Rebuild not just structures, but spirits. Replace what insurance cannot. Security, memory, trust. Let strangers become family. Let communities rise stronger. and may every rebuilding effort be marked by divine provision and miraculous protection that reveals you are close to the brokenhearted. Protect the rural communities, the small towns that often go unnoticed, the farmers, ranchers, small business owners who labor from sunrise to sundown. Let crops thrive. Let water flow. Let supply chains remain strong. Guard against droughts and pestilence. Let your favor rest on the land. And for those who feel disconnected, left out of national conversations, remind them that heaven never forgets the quiet ones, that every seed sown, every harvest brought in, every neighborly act is seen and sacred in your sight. Lord, I ask for your hand upon the children navigating foster care and adoption, those waiting for families, those adjusting to new homes, those grieving the ones they lost. Let no trauma define them. Let no placement become a prison. Let their sense of identity be shaped not by where they have been, but by the truth of who they are in you. Give adoptive parents divine wisdom, patience, and love that stretches wide. Heal the wounds that did not start in their homes, but now live in their arms. Let trust be rebuilt slowly, steadily, miraculously. I bring before you the workers in low-paying, high-stress jobs, the ones who clean our buildings, serve our food, stock our shelves, and deliver our packages. Let no one look down on them. Let no one undervalue their labor. Protect them from exploitation. Provide not just a wage, but dignity. Let there be promotions, stability, kindness in management. And when exhaustion threatens to break them, renew their strength. Let them go home each day not just tired, but knowing that they matter and their work is holy. Lord, I pray for those caught in legal battles, those waiting on verdicts, navigating custody disputes, facing false accusations, or fighting for their freedom. Be their advocate and their judge. Let no manipulation win, no injustice stand. Shine light in every hidden place. Let lawyers be wise, courts be fair, and truth be louder than power. And even in legal limbo, let their minds be kept in perfect peace. Remind them that no earthly system can overrule the justice of heaven. Protect those who care for animals, the veterinarians, rescue workers, zookeepers, conservationists. Let their work be covered in compassion. Let no creature suffer unseen. Let endangered species find safe ground. Let every injured animal be tended with grace. And for the ones who bond with pets only to lose them, be the gentle whisper that honors their grief. Remind them that compassion is never wasted, even when it is poured out on creatures who cannot speak. I pray for those who are afraid of their own anger, those who feel like volcanoes ready to erupt, who carry suppressed pain, who fear they may harm what they love. Protect them from implosion. Let their emotions not become weapons. Send counselors, mentors, pastors, people who can walk with them toward healing. Let anger lose its grip and understanding take its place. Let rage be replaced with release, bitterness with forgiveness, and shame with grace. Let them find safety not in suppression, but in redemption through your power. Cover the artists whose work carries prophetic weight, painters who create in color what cannot be said in words. Songwriters who give voice to collective H. Poets whose stanzas unlock hearts. Guard their hearts from pride and their spirits from despair. Let them never believe the lie that their work is insignificant. Let them not be seduced by fame or silenced by fear. Let them create not for applause but for truth. And let their work be a mirror to the world, a window to heaven, and a vessel of healing. And Lord, protect the ones who live between culture, third culture, kids, immigrants, missionary families, biracial children who do not always feel at home anywhere. Let them know that they are not fragmented, but layered with beauty and depth. Let their identity be firm not in ethnicity or geography, but in Christ. Let no question of where are you from become a source of shame. Let pride rise in the patchwork of their heritage, and let them find peace in knowing they are fully known and fully loved by you. And so, beloved, as this prayer continues to echo beyond these words and into the heart of God, may you carry its peace into every corner of your life. May you walk today knowing that you are covered, protected, and fiercely loved by the one who neither slumbers nor sleeps. If these words touched you, if even a line gave you comfort, strength, or hope, I invite you to share this prayer with someone you love. Let this be more than just a moment. Let it be a movement of divine protection spreading from heart to heart. Thank you for taking the time to pause, to listen, to pray. Your presence here is not by accident. May you continue to dwell in safety, walk in faith, and rest in the shelter of the Most High.